return, we wouldn't be where we are without those people that have donated. They're the reason why my son's still alive.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A good deal of sun won't prevent a colder day for today with a gusty wind and a high of 32, leading to a generally clear night tonight with a low dropping down to 20. Tomorrow does bring back more and more clouds through the day with a high of 39, leading into a cloudy Tuesday with drizzle at times and a high of 46. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, back with your Pratt Pack on a Sunday morning, a little bit of extra time for open talk. You know, I saw something from TMZ earlier today about just more pictures that are popping up from that whole Jeffrey Epstein file. And, of course, you heard one of our stories that started the program today that some of these photos have mysteriously disappeared. Isn't it amazing? A guy who is dead. Many believe, some don't, that he basically took his own life in a prison cell while awaiting trial, is continuing to make major headlines. So what basically happens? We have mass charges, a mass trial, once those who maybe have committed these horrendous, horrific, ugly crimes that we all agree that are just atrocious when you actually think about what could have happened. But how much time are we going to put into this? How much taxpayer dollars, which are shrinking as we speak, are going to be spent on ramping up charges and possible trials and all the things that go with it? And is it worth bringing the government down? I'm just asking, okay? I don't even really have an opinion because it's a horrific story, and it is the major story driving a lot of the headlines today, so I had to at least bring it up and give you a chance to respond, and I'm going to kind of see where it goes. And I think your response will kind of give me an idea of whether or not this is something that should proceed forward. So my question to you, we have a little extra time, open talk. We've been talking about a number of things, and we'll get back to that. But I had to, as a host, bring it up. And I want to know what the pulse of you here in this region. Should we continue to look into this? Should they dive deeper into these files? And if those are found possibly to have committed crimes, and let's face it, these are bad, really alleged crimes against minors, others as well, should they be prosecuted? Should we move forward? Should we do the deep dive on this? Does this story really matter to you? Now, for humanity's sake, it does. I mean, it does to me. But I'm curious to hear what you have to say. And if I get a major response, then, you know, that tells me that you folks want to know what was going on. But the names they keep bringing up, people like President Trump, people like former President Bill Clinton. But you have to understand, and if you Google TMZ, some of these people are very well known in these photos. This guy really was well known in that Palm Beach area, took a lot of pictures, was a person that socialized a lot, was at a lot of functions. Somehow, some way, don't know. I'll be honest with you. I never heard of the guy until basically it started to really become a story. And then obviously his life ending. But I, who really am plugged into everything that's happening because it's my job, I didn't know that much about him. So I've got one person that wants to talk about it. One person. So I'm going to give you an opportunity. You want to talk about it? Feel free. And if not, we'll move on to some other things. But I do have to bring it up because CBS has been talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. It's in all major papers today, so we'll talk about it. Here's George in Clairton. Hi, George.
Hey, everybody. You know, we had a good time with the Courier and Ives conversations yesterday on Christmas has gone by, and I'm sure there'll be more. But this one here strikes a nerve because I was in a restaurant business where I was for 30 years, and I got to meet all kind of fascinating people from this area. All right, that's before I worked for the CIA like I do now, right? But I talked to a gentleman, and I don't want to give too much on his description, but he knew, and he was retired, so he was at liberty to talk a little bit more. And he said that this was he died in August, Epstein, I'm getting ahead of myself. I remember it really hitting the fan in September of 2019. We're talking half a year before COVID. And he told me with his wife, I used to see them pretty much on Sundays, wait on them, take care of them. And by clockwork, that he definitely was not, did not just die, nor did he take his life. He was pretty much, by the angles and the anatomy and physiology and the physics involved, he was killed. Okay, that's number one. We have ever in this country had a taste for any kind of corruption, and it's filled with corruption. And I always say I'm not voting anymore, but I do, because I do respect those that fought and died, so we have that right or privilege or whatever voting really is. But as far as those that are really there and what they know and what they cover, one of my hobbies is dogs, and I've been involved in various dog sports over the years. Never had the time to really go as far as I like, but one was going to Beagle field trials and talking to Beagle people who would come around places around wholesome areas like Ohio. Very Republican, very wholesome, if you want to say, and rural Pennsylvania. And this was up to 30 years ago. It's all changed, but I remember talking to people then, and they did not like the Clintons. I voted for Slick Willie twice. Second time, not too crazy about it. They just told me so many of these people were involved in very, very bizarre and horrible things. And they told me this was part of it. They really did. There was a teacher I taught with when I was just subbing years ago, and it was not in that town of the Clareton Bears, but somewhere else. And he said that some of the people that were in power then, this was in the 90s, he would not touch with a 10-foot pole, and he told me as to why. And I got an impeccable memory for most things. And I could remember the conversations, what we were looking at. There were some conservative magazines like U.S. News, but they said a whole heck of a lot. And I remember stuff when Janet Reno was still around. So, I have an appetite to find out what's on. It's like the 1980s commercial for those with inquiring minds. What did you always see when you were in a shopping center? It wasn't so much Tic Tacs. It was Inquirer, National Sun. Everyone was exploding like scanners back in the 80s. But I like to know what's out there, and I like to really see, because this is human character. This is human character that goes into power, and this is so far away from how things are supposed to be.
All right, fair enough, George. I appreciate it. Okay, Joanne's got some thoughts about it. Joanne, good morning. You want to know, do you?
Yes, I do, because it's sad about our children that are being exposed to so much negative things, and then we have people with power are just taking advantage of these children because of the need and the greed. If we were to stop this thing with the Catholic Church, these young people would not be have grown up and still have memories of what went on to them. You want to forget things. You want to put your head in the sand about a lot of things that's going on. You don't want to look at reality. You don't want to hear the truth. I'm talking about many, many people. It's a shame that why do they keep on trying to hide things? I know I followed Mr. Trump way before he was a president, and I know the things that were happening with him, not just him, with people with power and money and think they can just do anything while people that don't have money are in jail paying the price for the crime that they did. So do I want to know? Yes, I don't know. And for them to keep hiding and not just bringing it up, it's something that you may not want to hear, but you need to hear. And we need to protect our children, because what's happening with them, it's just crazy. And time for these people to stop using children for their own pleasures, their own satisfaction. Let these children be children. So do I want to know? Yes. And if they did the crime, they need to pay. They need to pay for the crime that they did. And as far as children, there's a lot of adult women, a lot of women of age that these men could be, but a lot of them have this appetite for young. It's a sad state, and all I can say is God bless America and happy holidays if you can have them on this holiday. But stay strong, stay uplifted, stay strong. Yes, I want to know. It should come out.
All right, Joanne, thanks for the call. Let me get a break in here. We'll come back to wrap up the half hour and get ready for Pittsburgh Works programming today on KDKA. Good morning.
When the weather turns bad, turn to us for the best news, weather, and traffic information from the KDKA Radio Storm Center. Presented by Duquesne Light Company. Larger than light. Online and on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations to serve you a Pittsburgh tradition. College football playoff action yesterday. Miami defeated Texas A&M 10-3. It was Ole Miss over Tulane 41-10, and James Madison lost to Oregon 51-34. NFL action yesterday. Philadelphia defeated Washington 28-19 with the win. They become the first team in the NFC East to win back-to-back conference titles in 20 years, and they also eliminate Dallas from the postseason. Green Bay lost their quarterback Jordan Love to concussion, and they lost in overtime to Chicago too, 22-16. Basketball today, Pitt, Penn State, noon, 93-7 the Fan. Yesterday, Robert Morris defeated St. Francis of Pennsylvania, 79-70. The Pens were shut out against Montreal, the final 4-0. And the Steelers today at 4:24 will take on Detroit. More sports at 937thefan.com. The holidays are here, and that means KDKA Radio's Feast of the Seven Fishes broadcast. This year, that tradition is proudly sponsored by a local favorite that embodies the spirit of Italian-American cooking, Anthony Jr.'s Pizzeria and Restaurant in Coraopolis. If you're craving a classic Italian comfort food, Anthony Jr.'s offers a menu full of authentic flavor, from generous portions of pasta and fresh pizzas to their hand-breaded fish. Anthony Jr.'s, 5th Avenue, Coraopolis. Find their full menu at anthonyjuniors.com.
Don't delay in getting that plumbing repair done. Call Palucci Plumbing today for all of your plumbing needs. From trenchless sewer repair and waterline repairs and replacement, hot water tanks, sewer camera inspections, to Pittsburgh potty repairs, no job is too small for Palucci Plumbing. Owners Amy and Nick Palucci have been in business for 26 years, so give them a call for your next plumbing repair or replacement. Palucci Plumbing, 412-782-5050. That's 412-782-5050.
Have a house you're ready to sell? Ryan Shalaba here with the Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, and I want to make your next home sale the easiest one yet. Over a decade in business and 175 plus 5-star reviews, we've helped people in all different situations get the most money out of their house when they need it. We'll save you time, money, and stress, and we'll even help you move. Call 412-500-9057. We'll get you a cash offer in as little as 24 hours. That's 412-500-9057 or visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com today.
Okay, listen. The Bocce House of Pittsburgh, it is officially open. Find the Bocce House RIDC Park on Alpha Drive. Memberships, a luxury cigar lounge, league play for all skill levels. Do this. Grab some friends, enjoy delicious food, pour yourself a drink at the self-pour bar system. The fun is in your hands. The Bocce House of Pittsburgh in Fox Chapel, where great food, great drinks, and even better company meet on that bocce court. Visit theboccehouse.com for details.
It's the 3rd annual Edgar Snyder & Associates Holiday Hoops Classic on Monday, December 22nd at PPG Paints Arena. It's a full day of exciting high school basketball. 4 games, starting with an 11 o'clock matchup pitting Carrick against Alderdice, and ending with a clash between Mars and Peters Township. It's brought to you by tobacco-free Adagio Health. High school basketball lives on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Planning for retirement isn't easy. If you don't know where to start, join Beth Andrews of Net Worth Advisors every Saturday at 1 for the Net Worth Financial Hour. Beth shares helpful tips and strategies that just might change the course of your retirement. Listen every Saturday at 1 to the Net Worth Financial Hour with Beth Andrews of Net Worth Advisors. Net Worth Advisors, LLC, is a registered investment advisor.
All right, your Pratt Pack with you till 1 o'clock. Let me kind of set the stage for you. Next hour, Doug is going to be here. He's got a great interview lined up. Phipps Conservatory. You're going to want to stick around for that. Plus, we'll give you an opportunity to win some gift certificates from some good folks that support that show, as they have forever, Sorgels and Janoskis. 8 o'clock today, all about Christmas dinner. So start carving up the ham and phone in with all of your recipes. Someone's going to have a possibility of taking home a $25 gift certificate if they call in with a Christmas dinner recipe. You know, I think about those hams as a kid growing up and watching my dad carve into them, and the delicious ham sandwiches and all the things and the fixings, the mashed potatoes, all of the pies, the cookies, oh my. And bread, always such a big part of that Christmas dinner too. So we're going to be talking about that coming up today at 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock, we're going to have Carlos here today from Greater Pitt Tree Service. Winter savings, things you need to do when it comes to your trees. We'll talk to Carlos coming up today at 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock, Accurate Solution. And then Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show. We got a really busy 2 hours. Of course, we'll look back at yesterday's winners in the National Football League. Chicago came back, tied it up with a 2-minute drill as time ran out, went on to win it in overtime against the Green Bay Packers. So the NFC North once again in the spotlight, Green Bay and Chicago. And today the Steelers, of course, take on the 8-6 Detroit Lions, who are lagging behind those two teams in the NFC North after being the kingpin of that division the last couple of years. They'll kick that off a little after 4 o'clock today. Steelers are the underdog. It would be nice for them to make a big statement today in that game and then roll into the Browns and Ravens to wrap up the season. So we're going to talk, obviously, the NFL. We'll pick our weekly winners against the spread. And then we're going to be talking about the college football playoffs, too. Yesterday, big win for Miami over Texas A&M. They're getting ready to take on Ohio State, number one team in the land in the Cotton Bowl, so we're going to discuss that. Oregon rolled over James Madison yesterday. Ole Miss, as everybody predicted, beat Tulane. We'll be talking some college football as well. And that's today on the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show. And we'll talk about Brandon Lau, the big deal that the Pirates made, picking up a guy who hit over 30 homers and had just under 100 RBI last year. So he's going to be a second baseman. So I like it. I like what the Pirates did there. And Penguins lost again to Montreal, as you just heard last night, 4-0. They are struggling in a big way. Talk about the new ownership group, the Hoffman family, what it can do to maybe get the home cooking going again. Look back at a very successful run for the Pitt volleyball team that fell a little bit short the other day in the Final Four of the NCAA. But today, really, it's going to be a lot of football. We've got Gino DeMarco, who's kind of our college football guru now until the playoffs are over. He, of course, just recently retired after 33 years as the head man at Geneva College. And we're going to stay in Beaver Falls with our guest at 11:30. We got a really cool guest coming up. You know, with Alabama getting that win against Oklahoma, they're now moving on in the college football playoffs. But, you know, anybody that has an opportunity to play for a school like Alabama, it's a really big deal. Well, back in the day, there was a guy by the name of Joe Namath who left Beaver Falls for the Bright Lights of Alabama, and Paul Bear Bryant went on to win a national championship there in 1964 before he went on to play for the New York Jets. And then shortly thereafter, a young man who played his high school football in Beaver Falls in the fall of 74 and graduated in 75, ended up, because of his coach, Larry Bruno, making a call to Bear Bryant. He went on to play at Alabama, finished his career at the University of Pittsburgh right after they had won the national championship. But Steve Higgins is going to be here, and we're going to talk to him after the update at 11:30 about what it's really like to play big-time college football for a team like Alabama. Culture shock, things that he went through. Obviously, the group of talent coming from a high school like Beaver Falls, who was graduating hundreds, but he was the big man on campus there. But when he went to Alabama, it's a completely different story. And now with name, image, and likeness and the ability for these players to hop, skip, and jump and do different things that we've never seen before, I think it's one of the reasons why when many of us thought Miami would be basically one and done after they were kind of given a gift, meaning the ACC, and they had a team that actually got in there, and nobody really thought maybe that they deserved it, and where was Notre Dame and all this other hype. They come up with a huge win yesterday against Texas A&M. So we're going to talk some college football and reminisce a little bit with Steve Higgins. But looking forward to the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show, best hometown sports talk show anywhere, because we always talk about our town and our teams. You know, I want to mention something on a much lighter note as we get ready to wrap up the hour. You know, we were talking earlier today and yesterday, I kind of sprinkled a little bit of that holiday flavor in there, and we were talking about downtown Pittsburgh and talking about the Hannes Wagner sports incredible store that was down there for years, and how you could get all of your favorites, and it was like the mecca of sports stores. Didn't really have these sporting goods stores of this type. Most of your hardware stores back in the day carried your bats and balls and things of that nature, but Hannes Wagner was really the first to start selling gear, Pirate gear, Steelers gear, Penguins gear, all the top names as far as the shoe industry is concerned. But things were a little bit different back then, right? So when you came to Pittsburgh to go shopping a couple of days during the holiday, it was a big deal. You would go, bring the family, make a day of it, and hang out. And then the malls kind of came up, and you could stay close to home, but you still had that department store thing. But one of the things that I've noticed that people are kind of getting back into, but they're using their electronic devices to do it, a lot of these different games and things of that nature, that they basically stay home in the pajamas, sleep a little bit later, stay up a little bit later, and they get involved in these various games, right? Or either playing video games on their PlayStation or Xbox. But it got me thinking about, back in the 60s and 70s when people were playing the Milton Bradley board games, right? Like Candyland and Battleship and Monopoly. But do you remember, and we'll pick it up on this when I'm in later this week, because we're going to do a lot of holiday stuff on the Tuesday afternoon show when I'm in for Colin, and of course the Feast of the Seven Fishes broadcast, which is going to be a massive broadcast from 5:30 to 1 on Christmas Eve. But remember when Trivial Pursuit came out? Trivial Pursuit exploded. I mean, it was one of the biggest games to ever hit the toy stores. Whether, you had 1 or 2 or 4 or 10, or, like the entire family on both sides were there. You would spend not an hour or two. Some of these games, like those board games, Monopoly, you would stop and then pick it up the next day. So you'd have the 12 days of Christmas and 12 days of Monopoly, right? Till everybody was out of cash or somebody had all the cash. But Trivial Pursuit, not only was it a great game in the holidays, but in the wintertime when it was just too cold to go out and people were having parties, kids staying home from school, snow day, I can still see that purple box and how people just absolutely gravitated towards it. And I got to believe it's really the forefront of some of the things that we have seen with reality TV, these different like America's Got Talent, The Voice. I think a lot of it really started. And even karaoke, when you think about it, instead of, singing, people were doing trivia. And I remember how some of these games went on for days, and it was one of the most popular games ever. I mean, you had your Scrabble and all these other things that people would play, but when Trivial Pursuit came out, it was like the Christmas gift of the century. And the great thing about it, the grandparents could play, mom and dad could play, the kids, the grandkids, everybody could play, and they had different categories, and a lot of this stuff was relatively not so old as far as trivia is concerned, so everybody had a fighting chance. But I was just thinking about Trivial Pursuit and how popular it was. All right, let me get to a break. We got to get to the news at 7, then we're going to get Doug in here for The Organic Gardener today on KDK with your Pratt Pack. Good morning.
I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know, taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
No gift? No problem. With Target's last-minute gifts, the holidays are a breeze. You can score on the hottest toys, beauty must-haves, chocolatey stocking stuffers, and much more. And if you need it now, no worries. Swing by any Target store today and snag all the stocking stuffers and gifts for the most magical season yet. Step into the holidays, check off everything on your list, and save big on your last-minute gifts. Only at Target. Restrictions apply.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
The source you trust for news and information that matters. News Radio, KDKA. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 32 degrees, Pittsburgh International at 7 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Pittsburgh City Council will meet later this morning to vote on the 2026 city budget. But more specifically, they'll be voting on whether or not to increase taxes for next year. Council members say there's about a $20 million hole in the budget. Councilwoman Barb Warwick has called to increase the city's property tax rate by 30% to close the gap and not have to cut some city services. There were dozens of residents that told council on a Saturday meeting that they're against the tax increase. Following the vote this afternoon, Mayor Ed Gainey has 10 days to either sign or veto the budget. Police in Armstrong County are asking for the public's help in finding a missing man. The Manor Township Police Department says 31-year-old Corey Cook was last seen on Thursday morning around 8 o'clock wearing a burgundy hooded sweatshirt and jeans. He's reportedly suffering from paranoid delusions and hallucinations. His rental car was found abandoned near the Graff Bridge. Cook is 6'3", between 170 and 190 pounds. Anyone with information on Cook's whereabouts is asked to call police. Well, CBS News has learned that at least 15 documents related to Jeffrey Epstein that were initially released online by the Department of Justice have disappeared. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavidez says more revelations are coming out with the latest documents that have been made public.
Republican Congressman Thomas Massey, who co-sponsored the legislation, posted on social media the Justice Department's release grossly fails to comply with both the spirit and the letter of the law. Within the documents that were released, a police report from 1996. Jennifer Freeman represents that survivor.
She reported Epstein to the authorities, to the federal authorities, to the FBI. And as far as we can tell, it looks like the government did absolutely nothing.
A man is facing charges after police said an 11-year-old boy ingested drugs at the man's home. 32-year-old Ayodani Cole is charged with aggravated assault, possession with intent to deliver, endangering the welfare of children, and receiving stolen property. Cole's 11-year-old son was found to have ingested narcotics after he was taken to the hospital Thursday. Police checked Cole's Duquesne home on Wool Avenue and found a large amount of drugs, including cocaine, heroin, along with 3 handguns. One of the guns was previously reported as stolen. KDKA Radio News Time is 7:02. The AccuWeather forecast coming up.
This week's Game Time Sports Update is brought to you by Bet365.
Monday night's premier matchup heads to Minneapolis this week, where they'll host San Francisco, who are riding their momentum from a statement win last week, while Indianapolis is hoping to bounce back from last week's loss and defend their home turf. This matchup is sure to be a high-stakes battle for playoff position for both teams.
When it comes to sportsbooks, Bet365 has it all. Download the Bet365 app today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be located in Pennsylvania.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
When it's cancer, life gets complicated. The AHN Cancer Navigation Team guides you through. Appointments, expert specialists, emotional support, done. Because at AHN, we see you. Visit ahn.org/cancer team. When it's cancer, AHN knows. Life takes a village. Cancer takes a team. The AHN Cancer Navigation Team gets you the support you need. An expert care plan, financial guidance, emotional support. Visit ahn.org/cancer team.
Already dreaming of your big summer 2026 family trip? The best homes are booking up right now. Oceanfront beach houses in the Outer Banks, sprawling lake houses in Deep Creek, and family fun condos in Myrtle Beach. When you book your dream home directly with SWAC Vacations, you not only get your first choice of dates, you save up to 15% compared to the big travel sites. Lock in your perfect summer getaway. Lock in your savings now. Get the house you want, the price you deserve. SWAC, SWACvacations.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings a windy and colder second half of the weekend despite a good deal of sunshine with a high only reaching freezing, followed by a mainly clear night tonight and a low of 20. That leads to increasing clouds through the day tomorrow with a high of 39, before some drizzle at times and plenty of clouds on Tuesday, high 46. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
32 degrees now in Pittsburgh. I'm Rob Taylor. And it's time to visit BLOCS.org today. Change a student's life and get 90% back on your PA taxes. Next report's coming up at 7:30. I'm Rob Taylor on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDKA.
It's time to get greened. Doug Oster is here. All natural, no pesticides, no artificial ingredients. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Let me begin by saying if you're the 10th caller at 412-922-1020, you will win yourself a gift certificate to Sorgels in Wexford. 10th caller wins it. We've got some Phipps Conservatory stuff you're going to find all about in an interview with Doug moments away, but it is time now to get it underway. The Organic Gardener, the last one before the big holiday edition, of course, the Feast of the Seven Fishes, in which he will be a part of it, along with Steve Rapaski. So looking forward to seeing him at Coons Market in that 11 o'clock hour. Is it, what 10:45? When are you there?
10:45.
Okay, so it all depends. Things kind of carry over. Some people come early, some people come late, but he will be there for sure.
Seems pretty simple just to work out the schedule for 100 people.
Listen, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's a breeze. Don't worry about it.
No, not a problem. All right.
Ho, ho, ho.
No. All right, let's just tell you that here's Doug.
That sounds good.
I'm toast.
Well, Rob, I got good news for you. Today is the shortest day of the year, and then the days get longer and longer and longer and longer. We're headed towards garden season. 10-something this morning is the winter solstice, so that's good news. I thought we'd go over last-minute gifts for gardeners real quick. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Number one, whether it's a local nursery, a seed company, a tool company, gift certificate. That is the best thing, I think, for gardeners. I know it's not a personal gift, but I would love, because people don't know what to get you. I would love a gift certificate to my local nursery. That way, one of the sponsors, because I would use that up in a minute. A big packet of like 10 different seeds. And when I talked about this 2 weeks ago, it was like, how about something you want your favorite gardener to grow for you? People love that. The gardeners love to grow for other people. Some cool house plants. I know for a fact that Sorgels has some amazing looking, very cool house plants. It doesn't just have to be a spider plant or something like that. Nothing wrong with spider plants, but now you can get color and variegation and big and small. Paper whites and amaryllis bulbs are a great gift. And if you're going to buy tools, get good tools for your gardener, something that's going to last. I say it all the time that I'm using my grandparents' tools, and I want to make them last. And we are going to talk. I didn't get to it last week, but we are going to talk about getting your tools ready for the garden season. A unusual gift, but a perfect gift, and one that I would love is a kneeler. And Rob, you should probably spend a little time on a kneeler somewhere, but a nice soft kneeler that you can put down, and so when you're doing your garden work, you're not on that hard ground. Statues, angels, gnomes, whirligigs, all that crazy stuff gardeners love, especially somebody like me who has sort of a junkyard garden with all that sort of stuff in there. And big, fancy containers, whether it's made out of fiberglass or made out of stone, whatever it might be. These are things gardeners would love. You still have a couple days to do it. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it finally. Getting these tools ready for winter. This is the time to do it. And as I said last week, I learned about this when I spoke to a group of sheet metal workers, which is not my normal crew. Usually it's a group of gardeners, but these guys were awesome, and they taught me the importance of sharp tools. I didn't think about having a sharp shovel, a sharp hoe, sharp pruners, but all this stuff needs to be sharp. And so for that metal side, you can just go to your local hardware store, your local nursery, and they'll have something to sharpen up those tools. And it's just, it's a file. It's a fine file and a coarse file, and very easy to do, and it will make your garden work so much easier. Shovels, hoes, and then for pruners, there's all sorts of different types of sharpening tools to sharpen your own tools. And then if you've got the wooden parts of the tool, the handles, just coat that with boiled linseed oil and give it a couple different coatings. So let that soak in. Again, that's how I'm keeping my grandparents' tools from the 1930s. That's how I'm keeping those handles supple. Those are all made out of ash, and there's not much ash left. And so keeping that wood supple is a good thing. And then the other little trick that I do in my garden shed, I've got just a 5-gallon bucket with sand in it, and then just put like a quart of oil in there. And then when you're done with your shovels or your trowels, whatever it might be, just push them down in that sand oil combination, and that cleans them off. I like to have just a light coating of oil on the metal parts, just so they don't rust. And this is a great winter job because with the days getting longer, it's not going to be that much longer until we're starting seeds inside and then getting into the garden. But I actually have plants blooming now, and I wanted to talk about one of my favorites, and I talk about it all the time. It's in the Latin is Helleborus niger. That's also called the winter rose or the Christmas rose, and it's blooming right now. And there's just something about walking by the garden and seeing something in bloom right now. It has these beautiful white flowers which fade to pink. Loves to be blooming when it's cold like this. Any day that we're in the high 30s and 40s, it'll continue to bloom. Even when it gets cold, it'll just sit there in suspended animation. But here's the thing. They're selling this plant as a holiday plant, like a poinsettia, where you would grow it for 3 weeks and then throw it away or throw it in the compost pile. But it's a hardy perennial. The trick is wintering it over. Even in my experience, I've been doing this for years. I swoop in after the holiday season. They're half price or cheaper. Believe me, I've got lots of deals over the years for that winter rose. But the trick is, how are you going to overwinter it? And so I have friends that have done it on the windowsill, grown it as a house plant. I've done it in an unheated greenhouse. I've had friends when you have a mild winter where they've actually planted it. I have not been successful at that. Every time I plant them this late in the season, then they just don't make it. It gets too cold too quick. And so it's just a wonderful plant. There's different types of hellebores, and so the one that we know the best is one that would bloom early in the spring, but this winter blooming one is just an amazing plant. And as I said, just having something bloom. The pansies look pretty good. I saw they had buds on them. Flowering kale looks good. It's been actually a decent winter for these cool weather crops.
All right, so who do we have coming up?
Well, my friend Gabe Tylove from Phipps is talking about this really cool conference coming up in January. It's the Native Plant and Sustainability Conference. And even though it's not till the end of January, tickets go quick. And so we're going to talk about what this conference is, what you can learn there, and they've been doing it for 30 years. It's an awesome program, just awesome.
One thing I have learned about gardening and doing this show for 2 decades, that there's still a lot to fulfill a gardener's appetite for gardening in the winter months.
It never stops.
No, it's a lifetime obsession job. I mean, it doesn't stop. Seed catalogs, all sorts of good stuff.
That's next is the seed catalogs, and I can't wait. And I'm glad that, I talked about this purple sauce tomato last week.
Right.
I had lots of response to that, people ordering that, and I got to get some seeds myself. Purple sauce tomato, that'd be awesome.
So Doug Oster spotting in the Strip recently, huh?
Oh, yeah, man, it's nuts down there. It was nuts, but I got so lucky. I made a turn, and some car pulled out, and I just pulled right up into a parking spot.
That's a gift.
Ran down to Penn Mac. It was a madhouse. I couldn't even get everything I wanted, and then I was back out. Took me a total from my house to the Strip and back 47 minutes.
That used to be such a part of my tradition. I love going to Penn Mac this time of year.
And I've got friends that work there that from all these years, and one that had retired and came back, and so it was so nice to see her. She came walking. She usually worked just a certain register every time I'd go in, and that's where I'd always go. And then I saw her walk in, and she saw me. And it was an absolute madhouse. And I waved, and she pointed, come over when you get through. And so it's just so sweet. And real quick, back in the day, I know we got a break, but taking my wife's uncle down there and going in the back room and drinking that homemade wine, waiting for your ticket for the cheese counter.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy and Nino's Woolies, nothing like the Strip this time of year. All right, let me take a very short break. We'll come back, and we're going to have a great interview you don't want to miss, all about Phipps.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Tired of looking at your ugly, old, slippery bathtub? You don't have to any longer. Call PJ Fitzpatrick. The jacuzzi shower system from PJ Fitzpatrick features a low entry threshold with tons of design options. The jacuzzi shower is luxurious, affordable, and it installs in just 1 day. Plus, PJ will include a free shower seat and safety bars for all customers this month. Visit trustpj.com today for your free design consultation. That's trustpj.com.
All right, remember your one-stop shop for everything that is Christmas, open daily, 8 a.m. until 6. Farm market, Christmas decorations, stocking stuffers, candies, chocolates, gifts, and more. And they've got it all waiting for you. That garden center, pre-cut Christmas trees, wreaths, garland, and more. And that greenhouse, the most splendid, beautiful poinsettias that you will find anywhere in this region. So, what are you waiting for? It's time to go celebrate the season. It's time to head to the farm. Janoski's Farm, Route 30 in Clinton, Pennsylvania.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations to serve your Pittsburgh tradition. College football playoff action yesterday. Miami defeated Texas A&M 10-3. It was Ole Miss over Tulane 41-10, and James Madison lost to Oregon 51-34. NFL action yesterday. Philadelphia defeated Washington 28-19 with the win. They become the first team in the NFC East to win back-to-back conference titles in 20 years, and they also eliminate Dallas from the postseason. Green Bay lost their quarterback Jordan Love to concussion, and they lost in overtime to Chicago too, 22-16. Basketball today, Pitt, Penn State, noon, 93-7 The Fan. Yesterday, Robert Morris defeated St. Francis of Pennsylvania, 79-70. The Pens were shut out against Montreal, the final 4-0. And the Steelers today at 4:24 will take on Detroit. More sports at 937thefan.com.
Vaping and smoking can affect more than just your health. The materials in cigarettes and vapes turn into toxic waste that ends up in our waterways, soil, and harms wildlife. This is real. Protect your future in more ways than one. Tobacco-free Adagio Health and the PA Quit line offer judgment-free support at no cost to help you quit smoking or vaping for good. Visit adagiohealth.org/tobacco-free or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM at AM 1020. KDKA.
I'm joined this morning by Gabe Tylov. He is the Director of Education and Community Outreach at Phipps Conservatory and Botanical Gardens. And he's here to tell us all about the upcoming Native Plant and Sustainability Conference, which is going to be Saturday, January 31st. But tickets go quick, right, Gabe?
That's correct. Glad to be here, Doug.
Welcome to the show. Tell me about this conference. How long has it been going on?
The conference has been going on for over 30 years. We bring together speakers, both regional speakers and national speakers, to talk all about native plants, sustainability in the landscape, and basically how we can be better ecological stewards of our home gardens.
I've been fascinated with Phyllis Grickis's Spread the Night, how artificial light affects life in the garden. I've talked to her about it at length. This is a really interesting topic for you, I think.
Yeah, Phyllis is a terrific presenter. We're excited to be able to feature her and her work. There are lots of little things that we do in our landscape that impact the insects and life in our garden, and there are little changes we can make to have tremendous impact. And so Phyllis is going to highlight a lot of that as part of her presentation.
I think in general, especially this audience for the Organic Gardener radio show, they know the importance of native plants, but let's talk a little bit about that. It is really a trend and an important trend.
We have seen a huge growth in interest in native plants over the last 10 or 15 years specifically, which is terrific. As many people know, by planting natives, you can really support insects and pollinators, which in turn support bird populations in our communities. It's sort of the foundation of a healthy ecosystem is planting native plants. And even though a lot of people know that that's important, they're maybe not as familiar with the plants themselves or maybe how to design with those plants. And that's really where we see the sweet spot of this conference. Just like Phipps is a place of horticultural beauty, we want people to create beautiful, lush gardens in their backyards, and they can do that with native plants. It just takes a little bit of a different approach to design, and that's what this conference is really all about.
Right. Remind people how beautiful natives can be.
Absolutely. And you don't need to make any sacrifice planting natives. It just takes a little bit of a different skill set, a little bit of a different approach, and you can create really lush, beautiful gardens using natives.
So the Native Plant and Sustainability Conference is an all-day thing on Saturday, January 31st. Tell us a little bit more about what we would learn.
So we've got Sam Hoadley, who's the manager of research from Mount Cuba Center, which is an all-native plant garden in Delaware. He's coming to join us to talk about some of the plant trials that they do to sort of understand the different ecological impacts of different types of plants. We've got landscape designers out from the Philadelphia area who will be talking about small-scale, urban, native design that's really high-end to sort of give you lots of design inspiration for your own garden. We're featuring author Andy Moore, who's most notable, local author, most notable for his book on pawpaws several years ago. And he's actually going to be talking about the role of reintroducing large mammals in North America and the impact that has on native plant populations, which is really fascinating. Lastly, we're also going to be focusing on our Sustainable Garden Awards. It's a program that Phipps runs, highlighting residential gardens from 5 different categories to showcase really inspirational things you can do in like a common Pittsburgh yard. So giving people sort of a different idea of what you can actually accomplish in just sort of maybe a quarter acre.
Well, Phipps and sustainability go together, that's for sure. Just about everything that you do there relates to sustainability. It's pretty amazing, I think.
We like to think so. We've got some great gardens for inspiration here, but a big part of our education program is saying it doesn't have to happen just at Phipps. You can create really lush ecological spaces in your own yard. And, while we're known for sustainability, we're also known for beauty. And we don't want anyone sacrificing in their yards. We want you to have beautiful, beautiful spaces and support local ecology at the same time. Apart from anything else, it's a way to spend a day at the conservatory in January. No one's mad about that. We have a beautiful lunch, and so come and eat some food with us. The other thing that people really like about the conference is it puts them around other people who are also passionate about natives. So whether you're newer to that community or you've been in it a long time, this is a chance to get together with about 100 other people who are equally as passionate and excited about that subject. And so people build a lot of community at our conferences.
Tell me a little bit more about the Sustainability Awards. That's interesting.
Yeah, we've been running this awards program for a few years, and there are 5 different categories that people can submit their gardens to, nominate their gardens. Abundant edibles, wildlife gardens, stormwater management, micro gardens. So for those really small spaces, interesting to see the creativity people come up with when they just have a tiny little yard. And then we also have a category for personal refuge, because we recognize that even though we are trying to create spaces that are great for wildlife, our landscapes are also places for us to retreat, for us to find peace and solace. And so we want to create spaces that are great for wildlife, but also that are great for humans as well.
I've got a space I call the Fern Room, and it's all native ferns and a little chair there. I'm going to take a picture of that and enter.
That'd be perfect.
What do you want people to get out of their time at the Native Plant and Sustainability Conference?
We hope that people come, they meet their table mates and come away with a new friend or new connection, with a little bit of design inspiration, and leave sort of in January, it's cold outside, and begin dreaming about what they want to do with their yard that year. It's really a day of connection and inspiration, of uplift. And so come away feeling like you're ready to tackle the season and you've got some great ideas for what to do in your own yard.
What's the best way for people to connect and learn more about the Native Plant and Sustainability Conference?
All of our information is on our website, which is phips.conservatory.org. On our January calendar, you can find all the information you need about our Native Plant Conference, and that's the best way to find out. You can also email us at edu@phips.conservatory.org.
I'll also have all that information up at my website, dougoster.com. Gabe Tylove, Director of Education and Community Outreach at Phipps, thank you so much for your time today, and that conference sounds awesome.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate you having us on.
The holidays are here with great savings at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. Sugardale semi-boneless whole hams, $1.29 a pound. Sunkissed navel oranges, 6 for $2. And selected varieties of Marie Callender pies, 24.5 to 42-ounce packages, 2 for $10. Additional savings in our meat department. Amish Country Farm brand spiral cut ham, $2.99 a pound. And John F. Martin & Son sliced bacon, 1 pound package, $3.99 each. In the produce department, California shelled walnuts, 1 pound bags, $3.99 each. And extra fancy apples are 99 cents a pound. In our deli department, plain or garlic Ecker's bologna, $4.99 a pound. And this week, selected varieties of Barilla pasta, 12 to 16-ounce boxes, 4 for $5.
So celebrate the holidays with great savings at Coons Market. Coons Market, a special place in your neighborhood. How do you find the one nearest you? Click on coonsmarket.com. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
Beckett's amazing. He's a miracle child. In the mornings, he'll wake up and he roll the shades up and, Dada, it's time to get up. It's a bright, beautiful day.
He started getting dizzy. At the first of the year, he started going, I have to sit down, I'm dizzy, Mommy. A month after his 3rd birthday, he got diagnosed with ATRT brain cancer. All you can think of is, the kid's not gonna live. The fact that St. Jude doesn't build is a godsend. And the fact that we don't have to ask for help here makes things a lot easier to go through what we have to go through with Beckett. The fact that they are researching and they are saving these children, it's so important. We wouldn't be where we are without St. Jude, and in turn, we wouldn't be where we are without those people that have donated. They're the reason why my son's still alive.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com AccuDealer.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Mommy, how come I can't sit in the front seat?
Because I love you and you're just not ready yet.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Colin Dunlap on KDKA.
Think about the decades and generations where maybe there were a lot of innocent people and they did it out of the kindness of their own heart. But the number certainly was greater than zero of creepy pervs who lined up to be mall Santas to get their jollies of kids sitting on their lap.
Weekdays 2 to 6 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 33 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 7:30. I'm Rod Taylor. A man is facing charges this morning after police said an 11-year-old boy ingested drugs at the man's home. 32-year-old Ayodone Cole is charged with aggravated assault, possession with intent to deliver, endangering the welfare of children, and receiving stolen property. Cole's 11-year-old son was found to have ingested narcotics after he was taken to the hospital on Thursday. Police checked Cole's Duquesne home on Wool Avenue and found a large amount of drugs there, including cocaine and heroin, along with 3 handguns. One of the guns was previously reported as stolen. Well, police in Armstrong County are asking for the public's help in finding a missing man. The Manor Township Police Department says 31-year-old Corey Cook was last seen on Thursday morning around 8 o'clock. He was wearing a burgundy hooded sweatshirt and jeans. He's reportedly suffering from paranoid delusions and hallucinations. His rental car was found abandoned near the Rails to Trails in Graft Bridge. Cook is 6'3", between 170 to 190 pounds. Anyone with information on Cook's whereabouts is asked to call police. CBS News has learned that at least 15 documents related to Jeffrey Epstein that were initially released online by the Department of Justice have disappeared. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavidez says more revelations are coming out with the latest documents that have been made public.
Republican Congressman Thomas Massey, who co-sponsored the legislation, posted on social media the Justice Department's release grossly fails to comply with both the spirit and the letter of the law. Within the documents that were released, a police report from 1996. Jennifer Freeman represents that survivor.
She reported Epstein to the authorities, to the federal authorities, to the FBI. And as far as we can tell, it looks like the government did absolutely nothing.
Pittsburgh City Council will meet later this morning, 11 o'clock, to vote on the 2026 city budget. They'll also vote to see if they'll increase taxes for next year. Council members say there's about a $20 million hole in the budget. Councilwoman Barb Warwick has called to increase the city's property tax rate by 30% to close the gap and not have to cut some city services. But dozens of residents told council in a Saturday meeting they're against the tax increase. Now, following today's vote, Mayor Ed Gainey has 10 days to either sign or veto the budget. If you feel like the Grinch is stealing your Christmas, or maybe your tree is to blame, here's CBS's Deborah Rodriguez.
Rocking around the Christmas tree.
Wasn't that fun? Putting up your tree, turning on the twinkle lights, and hanging your favorite ornaments. Now comes the party crasher. Allergies. It doesn't matter if it's fake or real. Bringing a Christmas tree into your home can bring with it pollen, dust, and insect droppings. One study finds 7% of allergy patients can link respiratory or skin symptoms back to Christmas trees. If you can't live without one, experts recommend stocking up on allergy meds, cleaning artificial trees that have been in storage all year, and dusting off your ornaments regularly. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
KDKA Radio News Time 7:33. The AccuWeather forecast next.
Well, the holidays are here, and we at Sorgles want to say, first of all, thank you to you, our customers, for a blessed year. Hi, this is Randy Sorgel, and we want to welcome you to Sorgles in Wexford for all of your holiday shopping. We have poinsettias, houseplants, wreaths, garlands, and greens to help you decorate. Visit our greenhouse that is truly something like you have not seen here before. And our home accents has unique decorating and gift ideas, especially our baby apparel. Parents and grandparents, if you need a special outfit for your child or grandchild, please come now while the selection is amazing. But I also want to tell you plant lovers to visit our new website edition. Go to reserveandroot.com. You will now be able to pre-order plants and pick them up when they arrive from our suppliers. This includes everything from houseplants to apple trees for next spring. Sorgles, 724-935-2090, right off the Wexford exit of I-79.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
Got any gadgets? Get online protection. NordVPN has a ho-ho holiday deal just for you. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you avoid malware, phishing, and annoying trackers. Just a few taps and you're safer online. Let your gadgets sparkle with online security. Go to NordVPN.com and get up to 77% off plus 3 extra months. NordVPN.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A good deal of sun won't prevent a colder day for today with a gusty wind and a high of 32, leading to a generally clear night tonight with a low dropping down to 20. Tomorrow does bring back more and more clouds through the day with a high of 39, leading into a cloudy Tuesday with drizzle at times and a high of 46. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, here we go. Final 2 segments with Doug Oster. So if you have a gardening question, a gift for a gardener, or something you would love to see Santa leave under your tree, give us a call. 866-391-1020 right now. Call us. Lines are open. But if you're the 10th caller at 412-922-1020, you win an amazing $25 gift certificate to the farm. Janowski's Farm, where they're getting ready to open at 8 a.m. today. That's the 10th caller, 412-922-1020. So you said you have a Rolling Stones, trivia?
Well, I heard you talking about Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah, so I've never heard of that, though. That's pretty cool.
They have, when Trivial Pursuit was a big deal, they started branching out and making like specialty ones. So I've got an unopened Rolling Stones Trivial Pursuit because I only know one other person that would be able to actually answer the questions because they're really tough. I've heard they're really tough anyway.
One of the worst things that ever happened to me, because as we all know, I'm a type A personality, Rubik's Cube. I remember one Christmas, Doug, I was like 8 hours in my bedroom. 8 hours. I've never achieved.
And then you watch a 5-year-old do it in 10 seconds.
I remember Slinkies, like watching them go down a flight of steps over and over and over. It's the craziest stuff that we used to do.
Have fun with a wonderful toy.
Oh, my God. Not Hasbro, Whammo, wasn't it? Whammo Toys? Or they did the Frisbee.
Who did that.
They did the Frisbee. Oh, it was good stuff. All right. And these board games, I'm telling you, we play Monopoly for days. For days.
I have a friend, when he loses at Monopoly, he just gets so upset. He just walks out of the room.
Listen, I got a tabletop hockey thing with the wires one Christmas, and it was so bad that I was using masking tape because my fingers, the tips were bleeding. And my friend beat me like 30 consecutive games. I got so frustrated, I opened the door and took that thing and threw it right into the snow. Same thing with ping pong. Upset a ping pong table. Oh, my goodness. The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
Is that what a type A personality does?
No, listen, I'm much better now, but back in the day.
Really?
Oh, yes. Yes, unless you push the wrong buttons.
Yeah, be careful.
And then I make an offer you can't refuse.
Yeah.
All right. So 866-391-1020. Wait to get some calls in here.
Yeah, let's talk gardening. Give us a call. I know it's the middle of winter, but like I said, winter solstice, days are getting longer. Seed catalogs are coming. Right now, it's looking like a pretty mild next couple weeks. Let's talk gardening. If you've got a question, if you got a good story, how you became a gardener, it doesn't have to be a question. We'd love to talk to you.
I just found out that in Florida, they're planting their tomatoes right now.
Yeah. In fact, I've been desperately stuffing envelopes with Limbaugh Legacy potato top seeds to try and get them out to the those areas that are starting them right now. I've got thousands of envelopes there. My son's in town visiting, and I'm just going to be sitting there watching football, stuffing envelopes with seeds for people.
So you're going to be back on PTL, huh?
Yeah, a week from Monday, I'll be back on Pittsburgh Today Live. I'm doing a really cool segment. It's going to be about this winter sowing of seeds, where you can sow your seeds in a container and put it out in the garden in the winter. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. I'm glad to. I always love going back on Pittsburgh Today Live. I used to be on there. It was a different show.
Right.
We were on weekly, me and Andy. But it's always great to go back on. They're very, very nice. All the hosts are awesome.
Heather has really become embraced by this community. She is what Patrice was when I was, kind of growing up. Patrice King Brown, Marie Torrey back in the day. There are those few, Patty Burns, that actually become Ken Rice, Stacy Smith, that really become entrenched in the community. And she really has become
She's a
entrenched.
sweetheart. I have known her for so long, and before she had kids, and she's really a genuine person.
She is.
Yeah, she's really cool, really nice, and I love seeing her. I hope she's there that Monday that I'm
She's good
in there.
people, married to a firefighter, mother of 3. Guess who I talked to the other day? Jennifer Enkoviak.
Oh.
She's working for the Diocese of
I
Pittsburgh.
know.
We got Bishop Ekman coming to the Fishes. Her and I were just chopping it up, and it was nice to talk to
She's
Jennifer.
the one that basically taught me how to do it.
Really?
She was the first host of Pittsburgh Today Live, and I had very little experience being on television.
Really?
Yeah, I'd only been on. They used to have, I used to go on with Brenda Waters Saturday mornings and do a little segment in the newsroom.
Right.
And that's how I started. And I kind of learned a little bit there from Paul Martino and from Brenda. But to do it every week with Jennifer, I learned so much. I mean, we actually did a live shoot once at Phipps where I had some kind of puppet or something that I got there, and I was on her shoulder, and she was like, enough.
Stop the puppet.
Stop the puppet.
All right, here we go. Let's go to Kurt in Vanport. Hey, Kurt.
Hi. Yeah, I had 2 questions for you. Actually, both about trees. I bought recently some pawpaw trees. They're about 4 foot now, and I was wondering how long. I did buy 2 different strains, so I was wondering how long it would take till they fruit.
Anywhere from 2 to 7 years. So you don't really know, but those are big, so you will be able to be ahead of the game a little bit here. Okay. Are they already in the ground?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good. Where did you get trees that big?
They're called fastgrowingtrees.com.
Oh yeah. Then why pawpaws for you?
Just because it was a local tree. I really feel bad, and that's my next question. But I kind of felt bad. I'm living where my grandparents used to live, and they had, a pear, a sycamore, a black walnut. They had all kinds, and there's no trees in the neighborhood anymore. So I just kind of wanted to grow some. The next question I had, as far as big trees, I also planted a Princeton elm. So I'm wondering what I should be looking for in terms of if it could get sick.
So, number one thing is proper pruning and pruning at the right time. Never cut that tree in any way when it's in active growth. Only when it's in dormancy. That's the number one thing. And with a Princeton, it's disease resistant. just all you can do is keep your eye on it. There's nothing you can do. There's no other treatment or anything. Just keep your eye on it. It'll be okay. If you do get damage, like storm damage during active growth, I would get a certified arborist out there right away, because normally nowadays we never put any of the, like, what we call tree goop whenever there's a cut on a tree. But sometimes in the case of an oak or an elm, they will try and seal that up so that it cannot introduce the disease into that elm. Now, Kurt, one thing, when we get around to next fall, I'll be having my pawpaw get-together again. You should come and taste some pawpaws and find and talk to all the other pawpaw people about growing pawpaws and how long it took them to get fruit, because we have a lot of fun. And we'll announce that.
I'll tell you what.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you what, that I'm sure Rob knows that right behind the Beaver Courthouse, we have a farmer's market in Beaver, and they did have pawpaws.
Wow.
They had them available.
That's very unusual.
I was pretty excited for it. But my I'm sorry to go back, but as far as my elm, I'm not concerned about storm damage as much as Dutch elm disease.
Well, that's how the Dutch elm disease will be introduced to the elm if you do have storm damage during active growth. That's what I'm telling you. If it doesn't have any problems, the branches don't get knocked off because of a storm or something, there's not too much to worry about that disease. It's just if something opens up on that tree during active growth, that's when I would be concerned about Dutch elm disease, and that's when I would want a certified arborist to come in and tell you what to do. Like, should I put that tree goop on? What should I do? That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's your concern with that Princeton elm, is if something gets cut, broken, opened up during active growth, that's when that disease can enter into the system.
And back to your pawpaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, but back to your pawpaw, down on 522, like down towards Winchester, there's a place called Pawpaw, West Virginia. They have a festival every year.
Right.
And I went about 3 years ago, so I'm pretty excited for my pawpaws.
Oh, that's awesome, because that's a great tree. And then there's another pawpaw festival down like Athens, Ohio, somewhere in there. And so maybe that'll be another road trip for you. But keep listening, and then next fall, come see us here in. We'll be in the North Hills for our pawpaw get together. Thanks for your call, Kurt.
All right, we'll come back. Barbara's next for Doug, the organic gardener.
The KDKA Mobile News Fleet is driven by Jim Shorkey Kia, North Huntington and Wexford. JimShorkeyKia.com.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market, with 8 locations to serve you, a Pittsburgh tradition. College football playoff action yesterday. Miami defeated Texas A&M 10-3. It was Ole Miss over Tulane 41-10, and James Madison lost to Oregon 51-34. NFL action yesterday. Philadelphia defeated Washington 28-19 with the win. They become the first team in the NFC East to win back-to-back conference titles in 20 years, and they also eliminate Dallas from the postseason. Green Bay lost their quarterback Jordan Love to concussion, and they lost in overtime to Chicago too, 22-16. Basketball today, Pitt, Penn State, noon, 93-7 the Fan. Yesterday, Robert Morris defeated St. Francis of Pennsylvania 79-70. The Pens were shut out against Montreal, the final 4-0. And the Steelers today at 4:24 will take on Detroit. More sports at 937thefan.com.
At UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, we believe cancer care shouldn't just be good enough. It should be life-changing. As the region's only National Cancer Institute designated comprehensive cancer center, we provide groundbreaking treatments and innovative clinical trials with renowned cancer specialists and a compassionate support system for patients and their families. Discover more at upmchillman.com/lifechanging.
This isn't just a game, it's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Celebrate 100 years of high-flying dunks, 100 years of show-stopping moves, and 100 years of changing the game. Bring the whole family and be part of the legacy. This game is once in a century. Be there at PPG Paints Arena on December 26th. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for your tickets to the 100-year tour.
Don't delay in getting that plumbing repair done. Call Palucci Plumbing today for all of your plumbing needs. From trenchless sewer repair and waterline repairs and replacement, hot water tanks, sewer camera inspections, to Pittsburgh potty repairs, no job is too small for Palucci Plumbing. Owners Amy and Nick Palucci have been in business for 26 years, so give them a call for your next plumbing repair or replacement. Palucci Plumbing, 412-782-5050. That's 412-782-5050.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
With Rich Fitzgerald, Executive Director, Southwestern Pennsylvania Commission. The things you've told us is there's a need for these data centers. But with that comes the power necessary to do it.
A data center is really where the computations are occurring to provide all of the energy that is needed to run the things we see use every day, our phone.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Oh, we are back. He is Doug Oster, DougOster.com, the Organic Gardener. Here's Barbara. Hey, Barbara.
Good morning, and thank you for taking my call.
You bet.
I needed ideas, good morning, for an area that extends across the front of our home. It's partial sun, and I need basically some colorful bushes. I'd prefer something that would have more of a continuous bloom that the deer won't eat, because everything that I've tried has failed.
You had to say that
And
word.
I'd like it,
that four-letter word, Barbara. Deer.
Yeah.
So part sun, part shade.
Given up.
When does it get
Yeah.
when does it get sun? What time of the day?
Afternoon.
Oof. And you want something that blooms.
Yes, and more continuously if possible. The only thing that has survived are potentillas, which are pretty.
That was my first. That was going to be my first one, Barbara. Was potentilla.
Okay.
So how about some other colors of potentilla? And so they call it common name for that. Just so people know, sometimes we'll call it the buttercup bush. It has one of the most popular varieties is yellow. Has little like buttercup flowers, but there's reds, there's whites. So that's one. Could it be like a big perennial that kind of gets to shrub-like size, or do you want a shrub?
It doesn't have to be a shrub. I just would have this 5-foot area that is completely bare after a utility line, a water line, needed to be trenched out, and they killed everything that was there in the process. So, no, that would be fine. I didn't know potentillas came in different colors. We have yellow ones on the side of the house, but that gets sun all day almost.
Yeah, I love that.
So
I love that.
sure.
Love that plant though.
Okay, if it will do well in the partial sun that we have, then that would be a good idea.
Yeah, for the afternoon sun, it'll be okay. It'll be good. Like I said, there's some really cool red ones, and then there's also white.
Okay.
There's also white.
Okay.
The other thing I would consider is salvias, which are a perennial, but you can get some taller ones. In my garden, I've never had the deer touch it, but that doesn't mean they won't touch it in yours. Another thing, and these are perennials, not shrubs, because I'm trying to rack my brain for a blooming shrub that would grow there. But another perennial would be a perennial hibiscus, which grows kind of shrub-like.
Yes.
The other thing I was thinking, what was the other plant? This is a weird one. And the blooms aren't the big thing. It's the color of the foliage. It's called Aurelia, and the variety is called Sun King. And Barbara, if you don't remember some of this stuff, feel free also to send me an email, and we can talk about it through DougOster.com, because I want to help you. I do have to rack my brain for another shrub, but that Aurelia, again, it gets shrub size, and that lighting condition that you have is perfect for it, and has this chartreuse foliage, and it gets big. It's like 3 foot by 3 foot. Oh, I've got another good one for you. Caria with a K. And it used to be really popular in the 60s, and it's one of my favorite shrubs, and the deer in my garden have not touched it, but it's a monster. It will eventually grow 8 foot by 8 foot, and it has these beautiful yellow flowers, yellow double flowers, right at the end of daffodil season, and then it'll throw a few more blossoms midsummer. Look at that. There's many different types of Caria. And other than that, let's send me an email. Let's run down it. I do have one more caller here I need to get to, but Barbara, I'd like to help you there. Thanks so much for your call.
Joe, you're on the air.
Yeah, last spring my daughter was gifted a bunch of bulbs. Now I know I'm safe with daffodils, but there are also hyacinths and tulips. And rather than plant them to feed the deer and the chipmunks, I put them in a big rectangular planter box. They're in the garage. I figure I'll haul it out, the end of March.
Perfect.
But they're all popping up about 2 inches, or maybe it's just the daffodils. I mean, what's going to happen? And
don't worry about it. They're feeling this thaw, and so they're just kind of checking it out. They're sending up a feeler, like, oh, is it spring already? Then it'll get cold again, and they'll just sit there. As long as they don't bring that bud up above ground. This is a very common issue, Joe, especially with containers. Leave them in the garage. Just let them do their thing. There's nothing you can really do anyway. And they won't do their thing until the weather is right. And you're doing the absolute perfect thing with those bulbs, growing them that way. But we always see them. I have some myself doing the same thing. And I do have some daffodils in that container that have started to poke up, but they won't go any further than that. We'll have some thaws and freezes, and they'll just stay there. Thanks for your call, Joe.
All right, so what's on the agenda? Final minute for the Oster family during the holidays.
Oh, Feast of Seven Fishes, Rob, and I can't wait to talk about it with you Wednesday morning at 10:45. And I want to thank you so much for talking about Feast of Seven Fishes. This has become such our most important tradition at the house, and my wife starts cooking today. Nice. I just told her, I said, just tell me anything you need me to do. Take the dog trash, just keep it in that kitchen. Oh man, it's going to be a complete disaster, but in a good way. And the sauce, she starts making the sauce today, and we're going to be smelling that. I got my oldest son is in town, and we'll be smelling that all day long while I'm sitting there watching football and stuffing envelopes with seeds.
Doug Oster, DougOster.com, or Oyster, maybe over the next couple of days.
Merry Christmas, Rob. You have a great holiday.
Thank you very much. Stay tuned. News at 8 next.
Get year-end rebates on quality Graber blinds from Lachina Drapery and Blind Factory. Save $75 on 3 solar, roller, cellular, or natural Graber shades. Plus, save an extra $25 on each additional shade. Lachina, Pittsburgh's custom window treatment leader, is pleased to offer these Graber shades rebates. Act quickly, as this offer is for a limited time. Call Lachina at 412-665-4900 for free shop-at-home service. Visit their 2 showrooms in Dormont and Wexford and at lachinadrapery.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 34 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Later this morning, Pittsburgh City Council will meet to vote on the 2026 city budget. Also, they'll vote on whether or not to increase taxes for 2026. Now, council members say there's a $20 million hole in the budget. And Councilwoman Barb Warwick has called to increase the city's property tax rate by 30% to close the gap and not have to cut some city services. But dozens of residents told council on a Saturday meeting they're against the tax increase. Now, following today's vote, Mayor Ed Gainey has 10 days to either sign or veto the budget. Police in Armstrong County still asking for the public's help in finding a missing man. The Manor Township Police Department says 31-year-old Corey Cook was last seen on Thursday morning around 8 o'clock. He was wearing a burgundy hooded sweatshirt and jeans. He's reportedly suffering from paranoid delusions and hallucinations. His rental car was found abandoned near the Graff Bridge and Rails to Trails. Cook is 6'3", between 170 to 190 pounds. Anyone with information on Cook's whereabouts is asked to call police. Well, CBS News has learned that at least 15 documents related to Jeffrey Epstein that were initially released online by the Department of Justice have disappeared. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavidez says more revelations are coming out with the latest documents that have been made public.
Republican Congressman Thomas Massey, who co-sponsored the legislation, posted on social media the Justice Department's release grossly fails to comply with both the spirit and the letter of the law. Within the documents that were released, a police report from 1996. Jennifer Freeman represents that survivor.
She reported Epstein to the authorities, to the federal authorities, to the FBI. And as far as we can tell, it looks like the government did absolutely nothing.
A man is facing charges after police said an 11-year-old boy ingested drugs at the man's home. 32-year-old Ayodhani Cole is charged with aggravated assault, possession with intent to deliver, endangering the welfare of children, and receiving stolen property. Cole's 11-year-old son was found to have ingested narcotics after he was rushed to the hospital Thursday morning. Police checked Cole's Duquesne home on Wool Avenue. There they found a large amount of drugs, including cocaine and heroin, along with 3 handguns. One of the guns was previously reported as stolen. KDK Radio News Time, it's 8:03. The AccuWeather forecast next.
Eastern Atlantic States Regional Council of Carpenters would like to wish everyone a happy holiday season. Eastern Atlantic States Regional Council of Carpenters represents more than 42,000 members across 7 states, along with 11 training centers and 1,800 apprentice carpenters. As you reflect on the year, consider what the American worker has created in this country. Know that working hard allows a change to each family's future, and working together allows them to change the world. Together, they're building the future. Find out more at eascarpenters.org.
No gift? No problem. With Target's last-minute gifts, the holidays are a breeze. You can score on the hottest toys, beauty must-haves, chocolatey stocking stuffers, and much more. And if you need it now, no worries. Swing by any Target store today and snag all the stocking stuffers and gifts for the most magical season yet. Step into the holidays, check off everything on your list, and save big on your last-minute gifts. Only at Target. Restrictions apply.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings a windy and colder second half of the weekend despite a good deal of sunshine with a high only reaching freezing, followed by a mainly clear night tonight and a low of 20. That leads to increasing clouds through the day tomorrow with a high of 39, before some drizzle at times and plenty of clouds on Tuesday, high 46. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. This is the Coons Cooking Hour. The crew from Coons Market are here. It's the great food you grew up with and the recipes that make Pittsburgh someplace special.
I gotta tell you, this is one of our more popular shows because who doesn't like Christmas dinner? So it's all about preparing for the holiday days away. Give us a call, 866-391-1020. Classic roast turkey, ham, beef, tenderloin, lamb with some great sides like mashed potatoes, stuffing, roasted vegetables like Brussels sprouts, carrots, squash, cranberry sauce. There's more. If you really want to step up your game, beef Wellington, salmon, duck, or vegetarian dishes such as mushroom Wellington, lasagna for variety, often with some of those rich desserts as like cheesecake and pecan pie to finish things off. I got the whole list. Now I want to hear your recipes. What you do is call 866-391-1020. At the end of the hour, we will draw a listener's name at random, and that person will get a $25 gift certificate from Coons Market. Frank Dentisi is here, so let's talk Christmas dinner. You know, lasagna would be kind of nice. I love lasagna, but I've never had it for Christmas dinner. But I could see that hitting the spot, little lasagna with that Christmas ham.
Oh, definitely. We would always have like a pasta with ricotta, we call it, whether one was lasagna. We used the Mafaldo noodles, a little bit different, but it was still baked off like lasagna. We'd have that Christmas Eve. We'd rotate. Sometimes we'd have the lasagna, or we'd do the sardine pasta, or a stuffed calamari cooked in the pasta sauce. So we did different things. We on the pasta side, you know. But then for seven fish, we always did different fish. We really didn't keep so much count. We were probably more like 8 or 9 by the time you were done. You know, between the weird and unusual to the normal fish. All different stuff. Love it. And Christmas, that was like the highlight. Like my daughter, my kids are coming down just to go to my sister's because they don't want to miss the 7 fishes. That's how much tradition that's built in. They're 24 and the twins are 21. And my oldest is bringing her boyfriend Yev from Russia, so he's going to get quite the experience too, a different tradition than what they have. And it's always nice to be able to pass that on, you know, to the next generation. Hopefully when all of them have kids and a family, they are able to continue the tradition going on. But then Christmas dinner was always a roast. We would always have prime rib.
Nice.
And then my brother-in-law, we'd go to my brother-in-law's house and my sister Patrice, we'd have filet. They'd roast a whole filet, so we'd rotate on that as well. And there was always ham along with it, which is the more traditional. You know, a lot of the movies, and you see turkeys, people do that. They'll make turkey for Christmas as well, or turkey breast, which we prefer the honeysuckle brand we always had at home. Those things. But even beyond that, all the different sides. You know, Christmas has a big variety of sides normally, and It's just so wonderful. Again, just like Thanksgiving, getting together, being able to exchange gifts and bringing family together and remembering the ones who have passed on and, you know, those traditions that they began, you know, or continued to be able to bring on for you whenever you continue. So it's always a great time.
All right, we're going to go right to the phone. So Christmas dinner, light them up, load them up, and somebody's going to get a $25 gift certificate courtesy of Coons Market. 866-391-1020. Here's Mary Lee. You're up first on the Coons Cooking Hour, talking
Hi, good
Christmas dinner.
morning.
Hey, Mary Lee.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Could I start with our Christmas Eve dinner, our traditions?
Sure.
Definitely.
Because we're from Eastern Europe and Carpathia Mountains, and my grandparents are very strict when it came to the Christmas holidays. And what we do I'm Orthodox. What we do is, it's a strict fast day. No meat or dairies to be eaten on Christmas Eve. And if possible, we don't eat until we see the first star. And since the animals saw Christ first, if you have any pets, you feed them first. And then for the meal, the Baba, the grandmother, she goes around and she dips her finger in honey. And she blesses your forehead with the honey. And then the grandfather would break the bread. We don't cut it, we break it, and we pass it around to everybody who's eating. And our meal is mostly pierogi, but you can't put any cheese or butter in it. And we would have, like, different vegetables, salads, and, like, French fries, if we could have that. And all the kids that night could have pop, since we could no longer have any milk that day. And then we would go to Vespers. Church starts around 7 o'clock. And then we sing the first carol or Christmas song, religious song, Father Brings Jesus Out. And he puts him in the manger. In the Orthodox Church, Jesus is not in the manger until the Christmas Eve. And he stays there until the eve of Epiphany. So for Epiphany, Father blesses holy water, the baptism of Christ. And he goes to our parishioners' homes, and he blesses our homes with that same water. But for our meal, we just have traditional potatoes and ham and what's left over, the sides from the Christmas Eve meal.
Yeah, it's wonderful, and being those deep traditions is great to be able to continue and remember. I do remember we wouldn't put Jesus in the manger until Christmas
No, we
Day.
don't. In Orthodox Church, you don't. We sing the first song, like religious song or carol. Then Father Mark, my priest, will come out and put Jesus in the manger. And he stays there till Eve of Epiphany, till the baptism. And that's when we bless holy water, and Father Mark will come and bless our homes with that same holy water.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice. Very nice, Mary. Very, very nice. Okay, here's Chuck, who's actually resting because he worked an extra day yesterday so he could have off, so he could visit us at Coons Market on McKnight Road during the Feast of the Seven Fishes. Chuck, how'd it go yesterday? What time did you get done?
You know about what happened?
No, you're here.
Oh no, I just heard that bell again on the phone. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, about 7, about normal for a Saturday.
You're usually going to hear bells this time of year, so it's okay.
You can't help it. Yeah.
I'm here. Yeah, somebody rang mine, that's for sure.
Listen, so talk to me about Christmas dinner. You know, I mentioned you to the guys from True Value yesterday because we were talking about, grilling, and I said, there's a guy who Andy will give you a run for your money because Andy likes to grill everything, even pies and turkey on a grill. And I said, you're the only person I know that does everything and stays out of the kitchen. So are you going to do anything for Christmas dinner on the grill?
Yeah, Bloody Marys. Well, obviously I can't make the Bloody Marys on the grill, but I get a packet of thick-cut bacon, and I put some smoker chips in, and I put it in one of the disposable aluminum pans, and just really give a nice smoky flavor to that bacon. And when it's close to being done, I'll pull it out of the pan, and I'll lay it on the grill to make it real nice and crispy. So you can put it and use it as a stir when you're drinking a Bloody Marys. So make it healthy, bacon with your Bloody Marys, right?
Yeah.
It balances it out. It balances everything
I don't
out.
even know what's in a Bloody Mary. I've never had one.
Well, I'm going to tell you because my wife, she will not take credit for anything. She will not listen to me on the phone. She doesn't get involved it freaks her out. She hears me talking on the radio. But we have worked on this recipe together to fine-tune it to how we like it. So you have the bacon. I get a can of the, was that Dave for Terry?
Yeah, the D Fratelli. Yeah.
D for Telly. Okay. Veggie juice, not the tomato juice, the veggie juice. A little bit of olive juice. That's why I always save olives and pickles. We always save the jar so you have a little bit of juice. You need it for something. What else do I have? I'm sorry, I'm half awake.
That's okay. Take
pepper.
your time. Take your time.
Let's see. Some coarse ground pepper, celery seed.
Right.
Little Cholula sauce. Worcestershire sauce. And that's one of the things you have to try how you like it. You might like
adjust
a little bit more or a little bit less of something. I squeeze some lemon juice in there, or fresh lemon and fresh lime. A little bit of water, 2 cups of vodka. This makes a whole pitcher. But so you stir that all up, and you kind of add a little bit more vodka. You taste it. You want to taste the vodka, but you don't want to taste like veggie juice, but you don't want to taste like you're going to get drunk.
So is the whole wait? Is the whole idea, hair of the dog, to kind of have something to help you with a hangover, or is this a drink that people just drink because it tastes good, or a little bit of both? What's the reason for Bloody Marys?
It just tastes good. It's just something easy to drink without, especially if you want to drink it earlier in the day, and you don't want to get blasted, but you want to have a drink or two. No, I mean, it's...
No, I just like that term. I just like that term because my dad used to do it. I said, what are you trying to do, get blasted? I haven't heard that in years. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I have to watch my wife. I said, I don't want the DUI special drink here. I just want one, to have... my girls will come over for Christmas, and then we'll go down to my mother-in-law's house. So, yeah, we'll have a drink and open some presents up and just relax.
Good.
It's something easy and something that most people like.
It'd be a good drink for when you're grilling, quite honestly, and it's a little bit heartier. A lot of people have them for, a late breakfast or lunch, because it's a heartier, with that vegetable juice in there. It's not just a straight hard alcohol that you're having. It's something a little bit different. My mom used to like Bloody Marys.
Did she?
Yeah, for brunch. When you go out for brunch.
Yeah.
That's when she would like. Not a lot. My mom didn't drink much, but
I like tomato juice.
She did she loved tomato juice. And I think that was most of it, that she would do that.
Chuck, anything else before we move on? What else? Anything else?
No, that's all. I just want to tell you I really enjoy calling the show. A lot of my customers listen to this. You wouldn't believe how many people listen to the show. And I wanted to wish you and Frank and everybody else a Merry Christmas. And I am definitely looking forward to seeing you down there on Christmas Eve.
And Merry Christmas, and keep on grilling, too. We appreciate the contributions you make to the show.
Oh, it's fun. I say it's fun. I really enjoy not just calling in, but some of the recipes that I hear other people make. A couple of weeks ago, you had somebody talking about potato pancakes, and I was like, I haven't had a good potato pancake for a long time. So it's on my list of things to make. I don't know how I can make it on the grill, but I'll figure it out.
All right. Listen, Chuck, you're the best. We'll see you this Wednesday, okay?
All right, guys. You take care now.
Take care.
Hey, don't forget all stores open until 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve, closed Christmas Day, and we'll reopen the regular hours on Friday. All right, we're talking Christmas dinner. We want to hear from you. Some of those delicious treats you've been enjoying for years. Someone's going to get that gift card before we are done. 866-391-1020.
Your source for everything that's news. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
Charles Dickens wrote that the miracle of Christmas is that a baby can be so decisive. It is good to be children sometimes, and never better than at Christmas, when its mighty founder was a child himself. Merry Christmas from all of us at the Allegheny Institute for Public Policy. We've been challenging conventional public policy for the past 30 years. Help our cause, your cause, by making a tax-deductible contribution today at AlleghenyInstitute.org. That's AlleghenyInstitute.org. Merry Christmas.
From the beautiful grounds of Jefferson Memorial Cemetery and Funeral Home, they extend their warmest holiday greetings to all. Let us honor the spirit of the season by cherishing the memories of our loved ones. May this time be a testament to the enduring power of love, unity, and hope. Where there is an empty chair, may your hearts be filled with memories of love. From the family at Jefferson Memorial to yours, they wish you a peaceful and merry holiday season.
Real talk.
Smoking can create consequences that extend beyond yourself. Secondhand smoke causes more than 40,000 deaths per year in the United States. That means when you smoke, you're affecting the health of your friends, family members, neighbors, even your pets. They can get sick. The good news is that this is preventable and help is available. Adagio Health offers free counseling, support, and other resources. Visit adagiohealth.org to learn more.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I'm talking Christmas dinner recipes. If you want to jump in here and have that opportunity to win that gift card, 866-391-1020. So let's talk honey glazed ham, spiral cut ham with brown sugar or citrus glaze, scalloped potatoes, roasted carrots, and a fresh green delicious garden salad. Honey glazed ham, always a big ticket item. You know, we in these parts love Silver Star, of course, Sugardale. Talk about a honey glazed ham. Is it hard to prepare, Frank?
No, I've always put the glaze on at the very end. So, if the ham's going to bake for 2-3 hours, I'm going to take, and at the last 15-20 minutes, really, I take the ham that's mixed with brown sugar. You can put a little bit of bourbon in there if you want a little bit of different spice. My mom used to put the pineapple rings and cloves, pineapple rings, and a maraschino cherry in the center of each one of the pineapple rings. And then glaze it after that. But that sweetness, once you do it at the end, first of all, the sugar is not going to burn. That's the reason why I don't do earlier. And most of it will run right off because the sugar is going to get more liquidy, and then you just have a real pain to clean up the pan, and that's it. Now, you do it at the end, you're going to get that glaze on the end. You can even turn, if you want to do it the last 5-10 minutes, you can put on the broiler on the oven, and it'll toast the top of that ham. Or you can cover it once you glaze it, and it'll keep it from burning, but it'll help it to crystallize just that little bit, and just get that nice flavor all the way through that ham. Really brings out the taste of that sweetness. Because again, with pork, that's savory and sweet. So adding a sweeter taste to it, to the seasonings, really enhances the pork itself. And the ham, when you're dealing with a Silver Star ham, it's a natural juice ham. There's not a pump. The very minimal pump is just for the curing process. And so you're getting the real flavor of that ham, opposed to a ham that's been, your more commercial hams are going to have a pump put into them, more water. And that water, you're going to see it. It's going to be on the bottom of the pan. And you're not going to taste it. It was just to marinate, to more tenderize it, but it's not really there for flavor. Where the natural juice, the ham is the flavor, nothing watered it down, because when that water leaves it, it takes juices with it. So you don't want that as much. So that's why, a Silver Star ham, and people think it might be dry, and it's not dry. It's got that nice flavor from the pork as well. It's worth every penny that it is, and got just a great taste. And again, local, with Bob Germoni, Doug Janecko's our sales rep. And he's pretty high up in the company now. That's who we deal with, and talking about their products and their different lines, and the hams, what they hang their hat on, along with, their kibasi we've known from way back when Dick Rizaka ran the company.
I remember when your dad took me across the street when they were neighbors to meet him. He had on suspenders and a plaid jacket.
Did he have a cigar?
Yeah, and he was just so full of life. God bless him, man. I honestly, nobody makes a better hot dog than them.
No, No, and he the stress of business really takes. So when he was off work, that's when, he dealt with antique cars and not just classic cars. I mean, these were antique cars. They were, $1 million Royces that he didn't own, but he would have a car show in his
I remember.
lot. And he had a double lot across the street from my parents. And so they would have all these cars. I just sit in these cars like, oh, my goodness. Like when you see wood trim in a car today, you're lucky if there's even a little bit of wood in there. This was like stained oak or cherry inside these cars.
One time, and you remember Timmy Rice, who worked for Hagen's Ice Cream, right? So there was Timmy, there was me, Pat Tremoni. We were at Kennywood. We had a hot dog eating contest, and there were Silver Star hot dogs. Everybody wanted to be in it because they just wanted free hot dogs. You know what I mean? But, man, we had such a good time. Oh, we have so many great memories with so many wonderful people connected to Coons Market. Now, you mentioned some people have turkey, so let's talk roast turkey dinner. Herb roasted turkey, cider gravy, sausage stuffing, cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, green beans, almondine, and Yorkshire pudding. Anybody out there that can actually tell me they've had Yorkshire pudding, I want you to call me. I've never had it. I've never seen it. So my question is, before you talk roasting a turkey, what is Yorkshire pudding?
You got me. That's another one I've always talked about in songs, plum pudding. I don't know what a plum pudding is.
So, okay.
But that's for that, that British. It's more from
Here's
from
the gauntlet.
England.
I'm putting the gauntlet down. Anybody who can call in right now and give me the ingredients of Yorkshire pudding, what is it as well? We're going to get you on the air, and you too will qualify. At the end of the show, if we draw your name at random, you will win that $25 gift certificate. But you have to tell me what it tastes like if you've eaten it and what the ingredients are. It's like figgy pudding. I have no idea.
There's probably some figs in it. That's what I can guess.
Yeah, but
just like sugar plums. Those I did see someone. That was like almost like a sugar
And we all
prune.
know that there are sugar plums, right? You can pick sugar plums up at
they're made. They coated them in sugar.
Oh, is that how it works?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I ran into John Clemens. I was coming out of Banksville Friday, and he was going in, and I'm saying, what a great job. I love the produce department, but down at Banksville, so I'm down there getting chicken after doing some video work. Some baked chicken, delicious. I got 2 more pieces at home. Can't wait to enjoy them tonight. But do you know I'm standing at the deli talking to all these people? Met a wonderful young lady, mother of 4, getting ready for the holidays. Met a guy who just got off work. Guess what they were all in line to get?
No, it's Friday. They're there for fish.
Frank, I'm thinking, did I miss Christmas? Is it Lent already?
They're starting early on the 7 fishes.
But the fish look so good.
It is good.
I know.
It doesn't just look good.
I know. I've had enough of it. So I told this one young lady, mother of 4, and she was talking about Christmas, and I said, back in the day, I could eat 2 fish sandwiches in one sitting. She says, really? I said, believe me. She goes, it is so good. She was getting a bunch of that fish to take home. It just looks so, so delicious. 866-391-1020. I got to get an answer to what Yorkshire pudding is and what goes in it. A lot of this stuff, Christmas, when you think about how we celebrate it here, a lot of the traditions that we have came from places like England and Germany. One of the reasons why we have the Christmas tree and obviously things like Yorkshire pudding. So a lot of influence from Europe here at Christmas time in the United States.
Yeah, Europe, especially England, we had a lot of influence. And then you have the living off the land and, growing your own foods and raising your own foods, which was from North American Indians that were local here, indigenous people that were already here. So you kind of mix that blend in. And then, of course, more, backgrounds start moving in. But we have such a mix here. It's not like any other country in the world. No. The amount of different people that are here. It's why we have our disagreements and all that, because there's so many different types of people here and so many different religions, which that's why we have the freedom of religion. You can practice the way you want to. And it's made it very unique for the world. And we tell you what, we make it work.
We do make it work because we like Yorkshire pudding. And Kathy is going to explain to me after the break what is exactly in Yorkshire pudding. But I may use Gemini and do a little artificial intelligence so I actually sound like I know what I'm talking about. That's coming up next. Stay with us.
I'm with Joe Potocznik, JP Roofing and Siding. Congratulations, Joe. Triple Crown winner from Owens Corning.
Yes, Larry. We are proud to announce that we are recognized for service excellence, product excellence, and MVP based on marketing leadership and customer service.
Call Joe and his team. You'll get the best of the best. Get a free estimate for roof and siding replacements. Call the roofing replacement experts at JP Roofing and Siding, 412-829-7711. Congrats, Joe. Joe.
Thank you, Larry.
Experience casino like never before at Bet365. Spin your way through your favorite games. Check out our awesome table games and face off against a real live dealer. And play exclusive games that you simply can't play anywhere else. New Bet365 players get a 100% deposit match bonus up to $1,000 plus spins. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically present in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. T&Cs apply.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know, taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 33 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A man is facing charges this morning after police said an 11-year-old boy ingested drugs at the man's home. 32-year-old Ayudane Cole is charged with aggravated assault, along with possession with intent to deliver, endangering the welfare of children, and receiving stolen property. Cole's 11-year-old son was found to have ingested narcotics after he was taken to the hospital on Thursday. Police checked Cole's Duquesne home on Wool Avenue and found a large amount of drugs, including cocaine and heroin. Also found 3 handguns. One of the guns was previously reported as stolen. Police in Armstrong County are asking for the public's help in finding a missing man. The Manor Township Police Department says 31-year-old Corey Cook was last seen on Thursday morning around 8 o'clock wearing a burgundy hooded sweatshirt and jeans. He is reportedly suffering from paranoid delusions and hallucinations. His rental car was found abandoned near Rails to Trails near the Graff Bridge. Cook is 6'3", between 170 and 190 pounds. Anyone with information on Cook's whereabouts is asked to call police. Well, later this morning, Pittsburgh City Council will meet to vote on the 2026 city budget. Also, and they'll also be voting on whether or not to increase taxes on that budget for 2026. Council members say there's a $20 million hole in the budget. Councilwoman Barb Warwick called to increase the city's property tax rate by 30% to close that gap. But dozens of residents told council on a Saturday meeting they're against the tax increase. Now, following today's vote, Mayor Ed Gainey has 10 days to either sign or veto the budget. Well, if you feel like the Grinch is stealing your Christmas, your tree could be to blame. Here's CBS's Deborah Rodriguez.
Wasn't that fun? Putting up your tree, turning on the twinkle lights, and hanging your favorite ornaments. Now comes the party crasher. Allergies. It doesn't matter if it's fake or real. Bringing a Christmas tree into your home can bring with it pollen, dust, and insect droppings. One study finds 7% of allergy patients can link respiratory or skin symptoms back to Christmas trees. If you can't live without one, experts recommend stocking up on allergy meds, cleaning artificial trees that have been in storage all year, and dusting off your ornaments regularly. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
KDKA Radio News Time, 8:32. The AccuWeather forecast on a Sunday coming up.
Joy is one of the best feelings there is. Joy is a hot meal on a cold winter day. Joy is finding comfort in a place to call home when you have nowhere to go. Joy is the sound of presents unwrapping on Christmas morning. Every dollar that you give to the Salvation Army today brings joy to someone in need. Help provide food, shelter, utilities, and more. Text the word kettle to 31333 or visit salvationarmywpa.org to give joy today.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
My name is Emma. I am 13 years old. 6 years ago, I was injured in a car accident that left me paralyzed from the waist down. Once I completed rehab, my mom applied for a canine companion service dog. Last January, I finally got to meet my service dog, Marcia. We quickly developed a very strong bond. Together, we go to my horseback riding lessons, school band practice, swim meets, and archery classes. Together, we pick vegetables, and we like to cut flowers. I love Marcia. She makes me feel like together we can do anything. I can't imagine life without her. She's a part of the family. We are just one of the thousands of teams Canine Companions has paired together over the past 50 years. With your help, we can continue for another 50. Visit canine.org to see the many ways you can change lives.
I can tell that we are gonna be friends.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A good deal of sun won't prevent a colder day for today with a gusty wind and a high of 32, leading to a generally clear night tonight with a low dropping down to 20. Tomorrow does bring back more and more clouds through the day with a high of 39, leading into a cloudy Tuesday with drizzle at times and a high of 46. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, talking dinner time for Christmas and Yorkshire pudding. I just need to know. So, Kathy, and by the way, if you're on the line and you have a variation or you want to talk about Yorkshire pudding, I'm going to give you the opportunity because I want you to maybe take home that $25 gift certificate. All right, Kathy, tell me about Yorkshire pudding. What is it?
Okay, so I had Yorkshire pudding at my home. We had some some friends visiting from England. The mother was from England, and it ties in with what I told you this morning, my mom being a singer. It was her pianist and trumpet player, Tom and John Walton, who had played with Tommy Dorsey, which was really cool. Their mother, Lucy, was at dinner at our house, and my mother had made a roast, and the juices were all bubbling, and the roast was almost done, and she said, "Do you mind if I make Yorkshire pudding?" So this is how I had it. And what it was just a mixture of, like, 2 eggs, I think, some milk, salt, and flour, like a cup of flour. Anyway, she mixed it up, took the roast out of the roasting pan, and the juices were in there all bubbling, and she poured that mixture over the drippings and then let it bake, and it puffed up. And what I can tell you is it was delicious. It's kind of like if you've had a cream puff. It's like a bread, really. It kind of rises and it has bubbles in it, and the only thing I can compare it to is the part of the pastry of a cream puff. So Yorkshire pudding is more of a bread type thing, like a light, airy And then we just like cut it up in pieces and put gravy on it. It was delicious.
It sounds good.
Cream puffs. Now, anything that even resembles a cream puff, that sounds delicious.
It does.
Because of the flour and the egg, it was like it puffed up like a thin bread type thing. Like, yeah.
Can anything I could put Cool Whip on? I'm good.
I don't know if you want to put Cool Whip with the beef flavor
in a savory sense. But yeah, that's the texture and flavor was like.
So
like
it's not pudding, right?
It's not pudding like you're thinking chocolate pudding. It's like it's an eggy, thin bread-like thing that you pour gravy over. You put it on top of the drippings, put that back in the oven, and then it bubbles up and browns. It gets like a nice golden brown, and it's very light and airy and really, really good.
I'm telling you, that's something I might have to try sometime. I mean, we're cooking a roast for Christmas, and I think I might have to try something like that.
Well, if anybody can do it, you can. So, Kath, real quick, what's on your menu for Christmas? You were talking about a bunch of food. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm making lasagna, sausage meatballs, chicken, ham, potato salad, cookies, vegetable trays, and whatever everybody else walks in the door with. So that's what we'll have.
It's a free-for-all, whatever,
Man.
And when you start having other people bringing things too, and it's just enjoying what they brought.
Kathy, much appreciated.
Yeah, and it's all...
Go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead. What were you
No, I was just saying they all bring, and I say bring Tupperware. They walk in here with Tupperware too, because there's just so much food. We just can't eat it all. So
Where would
that
we
last day, the last guests are the lucky ones. They walk out with.
Where would we be without Tupperware? I mean, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And well, yeah, the way they even have the thinner products from like Ziploc, Glad, and even our Essential Everyday, the containers where it's not breaking your heart to give out leftovers. You bring the container back. Now you give them something that's disposable or can be used limited time, but it'll cost a lot less to be able to have some of those around and give people leftovers going out, because that's sometimes the best part of the meal is being able to enjoy, after.
Yeah.
Because some of the flavors came out, and it's just great. You don't have to cook the next day. That's a nice part.
For sure. I'll start cooking tomorrow.
That's your payment for doing all the cooking and cleanup is the leftovers afterwards. We don't have to do any.
Well, listen,
absolutely.
We appreciate you, Kath. Thanks, and have a great day. Okay.
Okay, you too.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk to. Let's go to Lynn in Squirrel Hill. Then we've got Heidi and we've got Becky. All right, let's say hi to Lynn in Squirrel Hill. Hey, Lynn, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you guys?
We're good.
Wonderful.
Oh, that's good. I love listening to you. I get up just to listen to you.
Oh, thank you.
On Sundays. And I love your Beulah store. I live in Squirrel Hill, but I still go out to that store. So there you go. I bought some of the little mini, what are they? Eclairs? Not eclairs. Lady Locks.
Oh, the Lady Locks.
So
oh, my goodness. Those are delicious.
Those are addictive.
Unbelievable. So my mom, God bless her, she figured out how to make scalloped potatoes in the microwave.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so because this takes a while when you cook it in the oven. So anyway, you take an 8x8 glass brownie dish, pan, and you spray it, and then you cut up and peel 5 potatoes, put them in the bottom of the pan, and then you put 1 tablespoon of flour sprinkled over the top, 1 teaspoon of salt sprinkled over the potatoes, and 1 cup of milk. Okay, so you might want to toss it around a little to mix in the flour, so you don't end up with flour piled up there. And then you take 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine. I prefer margarine because I think it's healthier. So you cut it up in tiny little pieces and dot it on top of the potatoes. And then you cover it with, I like sharp cheddar. So I get sharp shredded cheddar and cover it, and I mean probably half a bag,
Mm-hmm.
And then put it in the microwave on high for 10 minutes. Then stir it a little to mix it, break it up and maybe mix the cheese through. And then put it in for 10 more minutes. Take it out, and you put it in the oven, okay? And if you want to, you can put a little more cheese on top, in case you broke it up too much. And then you put it in the oven, and you bake it at 350 for 10 more minutes, unless you want it really brown and crusty. That's it.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, and it saves you. Yeah, it saves you some time. Potatoes take forever in the oven. I'm
It's one of my favorite foods. I mean, I'll make this all the time. I'll eat this with vegetables or a salad, for dinner.
Yeah.
And tell your UPS driver this is good. Because he's talked about my potato pancakes, so I know he likes the potatoes.
Well, he's going to adapt it to go on the grill, but it'll still work pretty good.
All right. Hey, you can put it in a metal pan. Go for it. I don't care.
Nice cast iron pan while you're grilling some meat. That actually would probably work out good.
Then
why not?
Great.
My mom and grandma used to put that in the oven. I swear it was like more than an hour. But then they made this massive quantity,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was like a giant pan of stuff.
My problem is I run out of oven space during the holidays, so it's at a premium. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wanted to tell you that Yorkshire pudding, you probably similarly American style would be a popover.
Oh, okay.
Look up popover.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know
Because
exactly.
what you do is it pops up and you put it on the plate with the meat, and then you pour gravy on top.
Oh, okay. So you're doing that. Yeah, you're not putting it on top of it.
Horseradish.
Yeah.
On the side,
Oh.
they eat horseradish with their beef.
I love horseradish.
All right, guys, you have a happy holiday. Love you all.
All
Okay.
right. Thanks, Lynn.
You're my Sunday morning company. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, it's like shepherd's pie from that part of the world, too. That was Winston Churchill's
Shepherd's
favorite.
pie. Yeah, the great, basically ground meat with mashed potatoes. Who wouldn't love that?
All right. I know. It's kind of like a pot pie. 866-391-1020.
Hey, it's Sam.
And I'm Calvin.
With Cousins Roofing, Siding, and Decks. When we started out, we were building decks out of the back of our pickup trucks, and Grandma's garage was HQ.
We didn't have much, but we had family and a promise to do things the family way.
We saw way too many contractors cutting corners and treating their clients terribly, so we built Cousins Roofing, Siding, and Decks on honesty, craftsmanship, and always doing right by the client.
We've grown a lot since Grandma's garage, but those values haven't changed. Call the Cousins.
Hi, I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, America's largest family law firm. During this time of year, difficult relationships sometimes become impossible. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell. Licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Americans spend $66 billion on weight loss products and services each year. And you know what? Right here in our hometown, Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist Dan Bitchoff has helped thousands of people do just that. Lose weight, keep it off. In fact, he's been helping people take back control of their lives for more than 20 years here in Pittsburgh. At the PA Hypnosis Center, you have an opportunity to do the same. Are you battling anxiety? So many people are. He can help you with that. If you want to quit smoking, Dan Bitchoff is the call you should make at the PA Hypnosis Center today. Schedule your free consultation at 724-934-8446, 724-934-8446. Dan can help you reach your goal with a 98% success guarantee. 724-934-8446. Call now.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding. Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company.
No gift? No problem. With Target's last-minute gifts, the holidays are a breeze.
You can score on the hottest toys, beauty must-haves, chocolatey stocking stuffers, and much more. And if you need it now, no worries. Swing by any Target store today and snag all the stocking stuffers and gifts for the most magical season yet. Step into the holidays, check off everything on your list, and save big on your last-minute gifts. Only at Target. Restrictions apply.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Get year-end rebates on quality Graber blinds from Lachina Drapery and Blind Factory. Save $75 on 3 solar, roller, cellular, or natural Graber shades. Plus, save an extra $25 on each additional shade. Lachina, Pittsburgh's custom window treatment leader, is pleased to offer these Graber shades rebates. Act quickly as this offer is for a limited time. Call Lachina at 412-665-4900 for free shop-at-home service. Visit their 2 showrooms in Dormont and Wexford and at lachinadrapery.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Well, it is all about Christmas dinner today. Here's Heidi, wants to chime in on Yorkshire pudding. Hey, Heidi, how are you? Welcome to KDKA.
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good.
So I'm from England, and in England, where I'm from, we have kind of like a specific way to eat Yorkshire puddings.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly, it would just be like you get your Yorkshire pudding, and you put whatever meat you have in the Yorkshire pudding, and maybe some of like the other stuff you have in your Sunday roast or Christmas dinner in the Yorkshire pudding, and then you would just eat it most of the time.
No, it sounds good. It pairs with what you made, obviously. So it's similar to what we'd be even like a slice of bread or something. It sounds like to me is what you're eating the Yorkshire pudding like, or we do biscuits in the South a lot, and eating biscuits and gravy and with something else. That's what it sounds like to me, right?
Yeah. Also, it's kind of like a Yorkshire pudding is kind of like a popover as like a U.S. equivalent to it. Yeah, and it's kind of like a puffy, bready kind of textured pastry thing. Yeah.
Yes, I definitely have to look up a recipe and just go and see what it's like. It just sounds good,
So, Heidi, I have to ask you, how long have you been in the States?
You were born in America. Yeah, I was born in America, and then most of my life I've lived in England.
Now, is that your mother in the background? Who is that?
That's my mom, yeah.
Can I talk to her for a minute?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, hi there.
Hey, how are you? How are you? Hey, listen, so what's a typical dinner for the holidays in the UK? What do you usually have in England for Christmas dinner?
Well, so the funny thing about England, you have to have a turkey, so that's pretty similar to America. But one of the things they love, which is kind of funny, is Brussels sprouts, because they don't actually love them. They hate Brussels sprouts, but they make them once per year for Christmas, and they boil them. So they have that. They do their potatoes roasted, so not mashed potatoes, but you peel them and you parboil them, and then they coat them in goose fat, and they bake them in the oven. And then usually some roasted veg like carrots and turnips, and then gravy. And then for pudding, so pudding is dessert in England. They have sometimes mince pies, which are little pies with kind of fruit filling and brandy cream. And also something called a Christmas pudding, which is kind of like a fruit cake, and you warm it up, and then you light brandy on fire, and you pour it over the Christmas pudding.
There you go, lighting something on fire in the kitchen for Christmas. There we go.
Yeah, exactly. And Heidi's grandmother is from Pittsburgh. She's from Murraysville.
Oh, that's wonderful. Listen, I got to tell you, I may be the only person on the planet, but I like fruitcake. My grandmother used to make fruitcake, and no microwaves back then, but we would slightly get it out of the oven when it was just finished, and it was absolutely scrumptious. I've always been fascinated by England. The king the other day was actually pouring himself a Guinness, and I love the royal family. I love the United Kingdom, and I love the accent. I love everything about it. But the food has always been intriguing to me because it is really hearty, is it not?
Yeah, I think it is. So a lot of British foods, and I have to say my mom also loves Christmas pudding, so I brought one in the suitcase. We came over to visit, but it's pretty hearty. You get like bangers and mash, of course, is a classic dish, so sausages with mashed potatoes, and then like a shepherd's pie or a cottage pie. So I think it's because the weather is cold and dreary and people like to go to the cozy pub. So yeah, the food is hearty. You hear sometimes the food in England is bad, but we like it.
I got to tell you one thing before I meet my maker that I have to have. I got to jump on British Airwaves and do the nonstop, go to London. I got to have fish and chips. There was a comedian / actor who was the sidekick of Merv Griffin forever, another talk show host from another time and place, the guy who invented Wheel of Fortune, named Arthur Treacher. And there used to be these Arthur Treacher fish and chip shops throughout the country. They were kind of like McDonald's. But they say that fish and chips in England are to die for, and I'm sure you've had them. What makes them so good and so much different from what we do with fish and French fries here in this country? Go ahead.
Yeah, so the first thing I say when you go is don't get your fish and chips in London. Go to the coast. We like to go to Suffolk, which is like 2 hours northeast of London, and there are towns that have little fishing villages that kind of look like Jaws, old wooden shacks, tons of fishing boats.
Nice.
But the first thing, the fish is a big, huge piece of fish, and it's really battery. And you put vinegar in it. So the fish is really white and chunky with a really nice crispy coating. And then the chips are thick. So they're big, thick, hand-cut potatoes, like huge, and they're nice and fried and crispy. And, of course, English people love to drink, so you can get some nice beer and wine and sit outside.
Love it.
So, yeah, they're really good. They're crispier, I think.
Well, listen, anytime you're here, there, or anywhere that you can reach out, you did a great job, you and Heidi, and tell her thanks, and I wish you nothing but a Merry Christmas, and to Mom, too, okay?
Thank you. Can Heidi say goodbye? This was her first time calling in the radio, so she was really excited.
She did a great job.
Bye.
Bye, Heidi, but be good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Okay, bye.
And passing on those traditions, too, you know.
Listen, that may be the best call we've ever had.
It's great to hear from different, from somewhere, they've lived elsewhere and they, or they're back and forth, they're visiting, and it's just great to hear those.
All right, break. We'll come back, draw this week's winner. And for those of you on hold, we didn't get to you, you're still eligible for that gift. Stay with us.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The fighting spirit of the Marine Corps is born of battles won. Battles won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's a promise made to you for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
Beckett's amazing. He's a miracle child. In the mornings, he'll wake up and he'll roll the shades up and, Dada, it's time to get up. It's a bright, beautiful day.
He started getting dizzy. At the first of the year, he started going, I have to sit down, I'm dizzy, Mommy. A month after his 3rd birthday, he got diagnosed with ATRT brain cancer. All you can think of is, the kid's not gonna live. The fact that St. Jude doesn't build is a godsend. And the fact that we don't have to ask for help here makes things a lot easier to go through what we have to go through with Beckett. The fact that they are researching and they are saving these children, it's so important. We wouldn't be where we are without St. Jude, and in turn, we wouldn't be where we are without those people that have donated. They're the reason why my son's still alive.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right. Before we draw this week's winner, let's see if we can get Diane in here real quick. Go ahead, Diane.
Good morning, guys. Just calling in to say Merry Christmas and to share that I came up with a recipe this week for chicken parm where you put it in a glass pan. And when you tenderize it, dip it in your egg and half batter, your breadcrumb mixture seasoned up, put it in a pan with some olive oil, bake it at about 400 for about 20 minutes, take it, flip it over, and you can mass produce them a lot faster than that pan frying.
That's a good idea because pan frying is a mess.
Yeah.
It sprays down the kitchen. Yes.
Yeah, when the troops are hungry, you got to get them done fast and then you just put them back in the oven with the sauce and the provolone or mozzarella on it. You've got your meal set to go. But I just also wanted to just wish everybody Christmas blessings this week and hope everybody has some valuable, great time and memories with their families.
All right, good
Thank
stuff.
you.
And by the way, these folks on hold eligible for the winning $25 gift certificate, which we're going to finalize in just a couple of moments. So I had a little extra time, so I didn't want to leave them hanging. It's Christmas. Becky, you got about a minute and a half. Go ahead. Welcome to KDK, Coons Cooking Hour.
Merry Christmas, and I'll argue my ham recipe when I come down to the show on Wednesday.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. I do mine a little backwards, and shout out Merry Christmas to the Angamar Deli. Not Angamar, the Ferguson Road Deli. Oh, my golly, they are great over there. I get over to that store quite frequently, so.
No, thank you. We'll give them a little shout out and let them know as well.
Yeah, and I was going to say Angamar's okay too. I am like in the triangle between three of them, McKnight, Angamar, and Ferguson Road. So I have my choice of which one I want to go to. So
well, Becky, you've been a fan for a long time. Much love. We appreciate you and your family, and thank you for always being there on the Feast of the Seven Fishes. Okay.
Okay, you take care. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Okay, let's draw this week's winner of that $25 gift certificate from Coons Market, and the winner is?
This week's winner is Lynn in Squirrel Hill.
All right, Lynn, congratulations. And listen, it's almost here, Frankie. The Feast of the Seven Fishes, 5:30 to 1, but we actually open the doors at 8, get going at 9. All the great vendors will be there with stuff that you know and love from United Dairy, Giarusa, Bellevue, and more. We got great sponsors helping us again, but the signature sponsor, Coons Market, everything for your holiday. And Frankie will even be making his smelts, too. So looking forward to it, Frank.
There you go. I passed on the frying to our Clint that was on the radio a little while ago. He's going to front. Yeah, he fries up the smelts. He actually has been doing it for the past 3 years.
I didn't know
That's why you see me up front a little bit more.
Nice.
And he'll be doing a great job out there, too. But, yeah, everyone stop on out. It's a great atmosphere, a great time to hang out.
All right, 9 o'clock, our CEO, Jody Zemo, will stop by. We're all going to be there, so please come out and say hi. Christmas Eve, Coons Market, McKnight Road, the Feast of the Seven Fishes.
The preceding program was paid for by Coons Quality Market.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 33 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Pittsburgh City Council will meet later this morning to vote on that 2026 city budget. More specifically, they'll be voting on whether or not to increase taxes for 2026 on residents. Council members say there's about a $20 million hole in the budget. And Councilwoman Barb Warwick has called to increase the city's property tax rate by 30% to close the gap and not have to cut some city services. But there were dozens of residents that told council in a Saturday meeting they're against the tax increase. Following today's vote, Mayor Ed Gainey has 10 days to either sign or veto the budget. A man is facing charges after police said an 11-year-old boy ingested drugs at the man's home. 32-year-old Ayodoni Cole is charged with aggravated assault, possession with intent to deliver, endangering the welfare of children, and receiving stolen property. Cole's 11-year-old son was found to have ingested narcotics after he was taken to the hospital on Thursday after passing out at his school. Police checked Cole's Duquesne home on Wool Avenue and found a large amount of drugs, including cocaine and heroin. Also found 3 handguns, one of the guns previously reported as stolen. Well, CBS News has learned that at least 15 documents related to Jeffrey Epstein that were initially released online by the Department of Justice have disappeared. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavidez says more revelations are coming out with the latest documents that have been made public.
Republican Congressman Thomas Massey, who co-sponsored the legislation, posted on social media the Justice Department's release grossly fails to comply with both the spirit and the letter of the law. Within the documents that were released, a police report from 1996. Jennifer Freeman represents that survivor.
She reported Epstein to the authorities, to the federal authorities, to the FBI. And as far as we can tell, it looks like the government did absolutely nothing.
Police in Armstrong County asking for the public's help in finding a missing man. The Manor Township Police Department says 31-year-old Corey Cook was last seen on Thursday around 8 in the morning wearing a burgundy hooded sweatshirt and jeans. He's reportedly suffering from paranoid delusions and hallucinations. His rental car was found abandoned near the Rails to Trails and Graff Bridge. Cook is 6'3", between 170 and 190 pounds. Anyone with information on Cook's whereabouts is asked to call police. KDKA Radio News Time, 9:03. AccuWeather forecast next.
When it's cancer, life gets complicated. The AHN Cancer Navigation Team guides you through. Appointments, expert specialists, emotional support, done. Because at AHN, we see you. Visit ahn.org/cancer team. When it's cancer, AHN knows. Life takes a village. Cancer takes a team. The AHN Cancer Navigation Team gets you the support you need. An expert care plan, financial guidance, emotional support. Visit ahn.org/cancer team.
It's the holiday season, and there's no better time to gather with friends and family and enjoy the great taste of Duquesne Pilsner. Born on Pittsburgh's South Side in 1899, Duquesne has satisfied the thirst of generations of Pittsburghers with its golden body and crisp, refreshing taste. This Pennsylvania brewed lager is now accompanied by a refreshing 96-calorie light beer as well. This holiday season, remember to grab a Duke. Available at better beer retailers near you. Duquesne Pilsner. Cheers.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings a windy and colder second half of the weekend despite a good deal of sunshine, with a high only reaching freezing, followed by a mainly clear night tonight and a low of 20. That leads to increasing clouds through the day tomorrow with a high of 39, before some drizzle at times and plenty of clouds on Tuesday, high 46. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
These are the people, the movers and shakers, the businesses, the people you know in your community who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
All right, listen, it's been a great year for a number of reasons, and this family of mine just continues to grow, my radio family, and they become friendships, and they become a part of all of our lives, and they become that person that we know first name basis. And all I need to say is Carlos, and everybody knows he's the kid from Greenfield who's doing great work with that great crew at Greater Pitt Tree Service, and he joins us now for the final show of 2025. We have a lot to get to. We're going to talk about winter pricing, but remember, it is #1 right here in this region because they know the city better than anyone, and that is Greater Pitt Tree Service. So, Carlos, as we get ready to dive into this week's topic, talking winter pricing and more, just some of your thoughts on the year that was. It was a busy one for you, was it not?
Yeah, it was. We had a great season. It was very exciting to be out there, with working with the crew. I'm out in the field. That's my job with the company. I'm field operations. So the salesmen go out and sell the jobs and meet with the customer, and then I'm out there with the crew performing the work and meeting the customers on site. And this year was great. The KDKA customers, they're second to none. They're so appreciative on the level of service that we're providing them. It can be a crapshoot with contractors, and everybody's had that bad experience. And the KDKA listeners, we just sit and talk. I'm out there on their doorstep, or they invite me in, and it's just like family. It's just like talking to somebody you've known for years. And then, how Pittsburgh is, you start talking, and it's 2 degrees of separation. So we were out the other night in Westview when that storm hit, for a KDKA listener, and she was driving to Greenfield that night to visit some friends on, of course, the street I knew well. And so we just talking and, shooting it together. And it's just great being out there. I love the platform that KDK has given me to be out there and communicate with these residents of Pittsburgh. And it was a great year. Our crew worked extra hard. I got soldiers out there every day. I mean, they go to battle. That, what we do is dangerous. Every day somebody's risking their life to get this hazardous tree out of your property or trim some branches over your house or whatever needs done on your property. And we take it seriously. We train our guys. We reward them well. We, take care of them. We're buying them lunch out in the communities we're working in. And I try to make my business about relationships first. Money always comes after that, but I love the relationships that I've formed over this past year, and looking forward to spending some time with the family for the holidays.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to open the phones up as we always do. And, their ability to help you never stops all season long, meaning winter, summer, spring, and fall. And right now, he's got some great pricing in the way of discounts. We'll talk about that. But it's all about, like, hazardous tree removal, removing dead, dying, or storm-damaged trees that pose a risk, especially to the human element and to your home. Winter, ice, snow, all that stuff that gets thrown into the mix this time of year. Dormant, pruning, shaping, and thinning trees like oaks and more. So what we want you to do, if you're dealing with any of that stuff or you just have a general tree-related question, you call us now, and we're going to really get that answer for you. But we're also going to tell you that this is a great time to make the call to 412-884-TREE or 8733 because pricing has never been better. So why so good when it comes to pricing and discounts during the winter months? Carlos.
It's a vicious cycle that we're all in as Americans. We work all year and save up and take care of our families on the holidays and buying kids presents and then kind of tighten the belt a little bit and through the winter and wait maybe for those tax checks to come back in. So we're sympathetic to that. I'm in the same boat as everybody else is. Money becomes an issue this time of year. So our goal is to keep the phones ringing, keep our crews working. We could pass that savings on to the customer. We can give you, usually up to 20% cheaper now between now and the beginning of March, when we get down at the home show at the convention center. That's kind of when our season gets in full swing. So, we want to support the economy. We want to keep our guys working, keep them spending, their dollars around Pittsburgh, keep us, visiting that deli or pizza shop in your neighborhood and keeping them going. We're all in it together. And I think that, if you can call us and if you have something done and you're thinking of maybe waiting the spring, give us a call. Let's see what deal we can work out. I like going out and playing let's make a deal with customers. The goal is to get it done. You shouldn't have to live in fear if you have this large threatening tree near your home because it becomes a money issue. We have a great program with Dollar Bank. We're a preferred vendor through Dollar Bank, and we can offer you 0% interest for 12 months. So call us now. You'll have no money out of pocket. And then you have a year to pay it off, no interest with Dollar Bank. They're another great Pittsburgh-born institution where we've been a partner with them for about going on 10 years now, and they facilitate a lot of these big removals we do.
It's funny, but here's the other aspect. Back in the day, late 90s, early part of this century, I was working so much that I got some tree work done at my home then in Rochester, Pennsylvania. I actually grew up kind of in the home because my cousins had owned it. But when these trees were planted, I was small, they were small. But when I was raising my children, obviously they had grown to massive heights. And a buddy of mine who had a service said, look, I got to take care of these so-called trees in the back of your yard. And I'm like, what type of trees? I was so busy, I didn't even realize that those trees had become that big because I hadn't been in the backyard in a very long time. So what I'm saying is I'm not the only person that deals with life and works hard like you. I just do something a little bit different. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of people listening right now that they don't even know that there's an immediate threat of a tree possibly collapsing because how many times do people, because we all have busy lives, actually get a chance to walk around their backyard and examine trees. Even though they live there, they don't necessarily know if something could be a possible threat. But if they give you a call, they can have Troy Lampenfeld, the certified arborist, basically pop in on a regular basis throughout the calendar year. So that way you stay safe. Right, Carlos?
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, there's so many things on your property that you may or may not be aware of. And, you know, it really came to light when COVID hit. I remember when COVID hit and everybody was, you know, shut down from work and they were home. And I didn't know, you know, how this was going to go for our business, although we were essential, so I was lucky for that and thankful. But the first call we got was a school teacher. He said, I leave my house, it's dark. I go, I teach, I stay after school, I get home, sometimes it's dark. I don't even know what's on my property. He goes, I got sent home, I look out there, I got 3 dead trees in the back of my yard. So, and so that really, you know, brings to the point that you're making. Like, a lot of times you're busy in your everyday life and you're not, you know, aware of what's going on out there. And that's where you call us. If you have any trees on your property, give us a call. We could come out, do an assessment with Troy, our ISA certified arborist. Like I said before on the show, we're like detectives. We come out and we figure out what's going on with the tree, the soil, the age of the tree, the health of the tree, the proximity to the home. You know, can we trim it? Can we cable it maybe to pull it, you know, the branches that spread out, you know, we could cable those together to make them where they're less likely to fail and hit your home. Or maybe it's time to remove that tree. The planted trees in your yard do have a shelf life. So a lot of homes in our area, the older homes like post-World War II and pre-World War II, those trees on the property are kind of at that shelf life where they're more problematic than beneficial. So that's everything we do when you call us. We're out there. We're trying to secure your property, keep your trees healthy, and make sure you're aware of what's going on.
All right, so let me get a break in here and remind all of you it's winter pricing and discounts, the topic of conversation today. Tree removal, removing dead, dying, or storm-damaged trees that pose a risk for your loved ones and your home, which, let's face it, it's the biggest investment you're ever going to make. But if you're out there right now, you have any of the above, maybe some pruning questions, especially these oak trees, give us a call, 866-391-1020. All of our lines are open, and we'll get to you right away. And then if you just want to, after you're done with us, make a call to them. I'm going to give you that number in just a moment and remind you how you can get a hold of Carlos and the crew at Greater Pitt Tree Service. So it's 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Call, leave your first, last name, and working number. They'll reach you during business hours beginning tomorrow. But again, short week because of the holidays, so you're going to want to make sure you get on the books. May have some actual warm weather coming our way that they're going to be able to get out maybe before the end of the year or the first of the year. But again, you never know with this weather. It can change on a dime, so you better be safe. And more importantly, you can do it always by making that call, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. But if you have any tree-related question, even if you have a question about your Christmas tree, we'll take it. 866-391-1020. It's Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service with your Pratt Pack today on KDKA. Good morning.
When you need to talk, we're here for you. Always have been. News Radio KDKA.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You want a roof that doesn't leak. Of course, that's a given. You need a roofing partner with the experience and know-how to ensure the structural integrity and energy efficiency of your roof. Trust PJ Fitzpatrick with their 45 years of experience, thousands of 5-star reviews, and lifetime guarantee on materials and labor. Our professionals install most roofs in just one day. PJ Fitzpatrick has a variety of financing packages that work with any budget. Visit trustpj.com today. That's trustpj.com.
My name is Emma. I am 13 years old. 6 years ago, I was injured in a car accident that left me paralyzed from the waist down. Once I completed rehab, my mom applied for a Canine Companion service dog. Last January, I finally got to meet my service dog, Marcia. We quickly developed a very strong bond. Together, we go to my horseback riding lessons, school band practice, swim meets, and archery classes. Together, we pick vegetables, and we like to cut flowers. I love Marcia. She makes me feel like together we can do anything. I can't imagine life without her. She's a part of the family. We are just one of the thousands of teams Canine Companions has paired together over the past 50 years. With your help, we can continue for another 50. Visit canine.org to see the many ways you can change lives.
I can tell that we are gonna be friends.
Come with me to get my Invisalign. They walked me through everything I needed to know. How long it'll take, how it works, and what to expect. Then it was time for the real part. They put on the attachments, they blend in with my teeth, they help the aligners grip your teeth and move them the right way. It felt a little weird at first, but honestly, not bad at all. They popped in my first set of aligners, showed me how to take them out, and that was it. I'm officially part of the Invisalign Club. I even wore them at a football game, super comfortable and easy to talk with. For someone who's always filming on the sidelines or covering sports nonstop, this fits my lifestyle perfectly.
At a time when children are in crisis, the Kids Mental Health Foundation envisions a future where mental health is a vital part of growing up, and support starts with all of us. At home, at school, at practice, everywhere kids are.
If you're at school having a bad day, you just don't want to do anything.
I just get these thoughts like, do better. All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed?
He's just in tears in the huddle. Yeah, I was like, what's wrong? And he's just like, I'm just so frustrated, and I didn't know what to do.
None of my undergraduate studies talked about mental health.
Teachers need tons of help.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation is the leading organization promoting mental health for children in the U.S. and has free tools and information developed by experts.
Having those resources is the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
Check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, back with your Pratt Pack and Carlos Greater Pitt Tree Service. And being that the holiday is just around the bend, we're getting ready for the Feast of the Seven Fishes broadcast at Coons Market. Carlos at one time not only helped save trees and got rid of those trees that needed to be getting rid of, he also sold Christmas trees. And earlier today we had a report from CBS about what you need to do when it comes to getting that tree and bringing it into your house. And I thought, you know what? Why not utilize the expertise and kind of go over some of the things that the report had and get some of his thoughts as well. But to keep it in a holiday frame of mind, if you're out there listening today and you actually still get a real live tree, meaning a Scotch pine, a blue spruce, what is it that makes you want to still get a real tree, and what happens to be your favorite tree? And I thought, meeting of the minds, you call in, you talk about why you still like a live tree, what your particular type of tree is that you like, and we'll have Carlos kind of jump in and kind of shed a little bit of information on it as well to maybe make somebody who's heading out to get that tree here, some last minute things they're handling, maybe give them a few pointers too to help them. So Carlos, let's just digress a little bit. So we had this report that led off early this morning on CBS talking about shaking it outside, inspecting branches with flashlight for webs and egg sacs, and placing a white sheet underneath to spot pests before bringing it inside. So you were in the business forever selling Christmas trees. You're around trees. Why should people be concerned about what could be in that live tree before they bring it inside? Go ahead.
Yeah, that actually happened to me one time. I went out to the Christmas tree farm about 7 or 8 years ago and cut down my own tree, and I brought it home. It was infested with wood spiders. I mean, and there were hundreds of them in there, and I didn't think to look. And And so, now, when I get a tree, I take a look at it when I'm looking at it, where I'm buying it from. And I didn't have that problem. When I used to sell Christmas trees, I'd drive up to Indiana, PA, and they were fresh cut, and they would load them up on the big trailers that we'd drive up with in our trucks and drive them home. And I sold hundreds and hundreds of trees over those 4 or 5 years, and I never had anybody come back and tell me, that there were, any pests or spiders in there. But sure enough, it happened to me. So I guess it's worth looking at. It doesn't hurt to inspect it as much as you can. So I bought my tree the other day from Sicily Nursery in Oakland, right at the top of Swineburne. And I actually went to grade school with Janine Sicily, and her sister was in there working. And it was just great, going in there and talking to her and telling her, tell your sister I said hi, old grade school classmate from St. Rosalia's in Greenfield. So when you go out and you buy these trees, that's, and when I sold them, I'm not down there making $1 million. I like talking to people and the relationships. And, yeah, sometimes I'd get a tree job out of it. But it's just fun to go down and talk to somebody and, they tell you about the tree, put a fresh cut on it, you give them a Christmas tip, and it's just a good feeling to go out there and do it.
What I always used to love would visit these places that obviously are doing it because they're a charitable organization. It's one of their big fundraisers throughout the year. But you'd be out there on a cold night, the fire barrel, the smell of that wood and the smell of pine and money exchanging hands and shaking and kicking the snow off of it. That's probably one of the best parts about the holiday. When you think about that Christmas tree, it's more than just when it's in your home. It's the whole experience of going out and getting that tree. My grandmother and I would always go downtown New Brighton to the Blind Association. This was like her thing every year, and she always had to get the biggest tree, and we would get it up there, and she had one of these old Victorian homes, and it was such a focal point of every holiday. So Christmas trees, there's something to be said about it. It really is what this whole holiday of Christmas is about, Carlos.
Yeah, I think it's a huge experience, a whole part of it. And we just got our tree the other day and put it up last night. My son and my wife were decorating it. And, now the whole house smells like Christmas. You get that nice odor from the fresh cut Christmas trees in your house. And you definitely want to keep the water in the stand, too, because you'll see it. You'll pour water in the stand, and like a day and a half, 2 days later, it's gone. When they put that fresh cut on the tree soaks up that water, and that's what you want. You want to keep it healthy and green where it doesn't dry out, and then maybe the heat of the Christmas lights on it can cause a fire. So you want to definitely keep that water in the stand as much as you can and keep an eye on that.
Yeah, and make sure you've got batteries in your smoke detectors, your carbon monoxide detectors this time of year, because the windows are shut and we're batting down in there with all that insulation, and goodness gracious, God forbid something happens to that Christmas tree. But if you're smart, and obviously with these LED lights now, it's not like the old days when the lighting could be a bit of a problem. But Carlos, here's the other thing. Let's use some of your expertise here. Of all the trees, and there's Douglas fir, blue spruce, Scotch pine, which really, in your opinion, gives you more shelf life? Or is it pretty much all the same across the board as long as you do the things like watering them and taking care of them? Go ahead.
Yeah, it seems like they all have pretty much a 2 to 3 week shelf life, and before they start kind of, dying off, and that fresh cut they put on it when you got it kind of starts sealing over where it can't soak up the water in the stand anymore. I like the Scotch pine. I think they're the most odoriferous, good word there, right? I hope I said it right.
I like that.
Yeah. I think they have that Christmas smell that you associate, live cut Christmas tree with, and it just fills your home with that smell of Christmas. And we keep our tree up usually to the week after New Year. So it's just a fun time of year, and you look forward to it all year. And the Christmas tree is just all part of the whole experience.
When I think of traditions and I think of my childhood, that Christmas tree, and I hope people like your family and others, I'm sure, but I hope people still appreciate it as much as we did. That was one of the biggest parts of the entire holiday. It was the starting point, but more importantly, we look forward to that as much as we did opening the presents on Christmas morning. So that tree really has a significance when it comes to tradition, right?
Yeah, and then I've been to so many properties around Pittsburgh where they got this massive pine tree in the yard, and you get the story. Yeah, my dad, when Christmas was over, he'd dig a hole out in the yard and plant the tree, and now you got a 60, 70-foot, pine tree in your yard. So that was the old Pittsburghers back in the day. They didn't put anything to waste. They bought something. They were getting their money's worth out of it. So it just keeps going. The whole, the experience of going out with your family and buying it and bringing it into your home and decorating it and seeing it there through Christmas, and then maybe go out and dig a hole and put it in your yard. See what happens. It's just adds to the whole experience of it.
It does, no doubt. All right, 866-391-1020. Christmas tree questions, any tree-related questions, and we're going to dive down, dig deep on some of the things that he can actually do for you this time of year that can really not get done quickly, maybe other times of the year when they're extremely busy, but you're also going to get something amazing, winter pricing and discounts that you only see this time of year. He is Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Rob's coming up next with the news, and we'll be back in a minute on KDKA. The holidays are here with great savings at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. Sugardale semi-boneless whole hams, $1.29 a pound. Sunkissed navel oranges, 6 for $2. And selected varieties of Marie Callender pies, 24.5 to 42-ounce packages, 2 for $10. Additional savings in our meat department. Amish Country Farm brand spiral cut ham, $2.99 a pound. And John F. Martin & Son sliced bacon, 1 pound package, $3.99 each. In the produce department, California shelled walnuts, 1 pound bags, $3.99 each. And extra fancy apples are 99 cents a pound. In our deli department, plain or garlic Ecker's bologna, $4.99 a pound. And this week, selected varieties of Barilla pasta, 12 to 16-ounce boxes, 4 for $5.
So celebrate the holidays with great savings at Coons Market. Coons Market, a special place in your neighborhood. How do you find the one nearest you? Click on CoonsMarket.com. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For generations, you've listened to us in your kitchen, catching baseball games on your front porch, and ending your day as your bedtime buddy. Now, you can watch us every day on your TV with our new KDKA Radio YouTube page, or by clicking on KDKARadio.com. It's presented by Metropolitan Windows. Same great content, more live visuals. The voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 34 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9:30. I'm Rob Taylor. A man is facing charges this morning after police said an 11-year-old boy ingested drugs at that man's home. 32-year-old Ayudone Cole is charged with aggravated assault along with possession with intent to deliver, endangering the welfare of children, and receiving stolen property. Cole's 11-year-old son was found to have ingested narcotics after he passed out at his school and then was taken to the hospital on Thursday. Police checked Cole's Duquesne home on Wool Avenue and found a large amount of drugs, including cocaine and heroin, along with 3 handguns. One of the guns previously reported as stolen. Well, if you're dreading that stressful holiday family gathering, experts have some tips. Here's CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace.
Licensed therapist Kelly Hausman says conversations about politics, religion, or why you're not married yet can raise the stress level. She suggests having an escape plan.
A literal escape plan. Find a bathroom, a bedroom that if you just need a couple minutes to calm down, catch your breath, recalibrate, just get out of there and decompress a little bit.
If the stressful conversation continues, try
changing the topic if it's something that's uncomfortable, or even busting out a board game, turning on something on TV, distracting. You don't have to engage in conversations that you don't want to.
Happy holidays. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
KDK Radio News Time, 9:31. Next updates at 10. I'm Rob Taylor on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDK.
Don't delay in getting that plumbing repair done. Call Palucci Plumbing today for all of your plumbing needs. From trenchless sewer repair and waterline repairs and replacement, hot water tanks, sewer camera inspections, to Pittsburgh potty repairs, no job is too small for Palucci Plumbing. Owners Amy and Nick Palucci have been in business for 26 years, so give them a call for your next plumbing repair or replacement. Palucci Plumbing, 412-782-5050. That's 412-782-5050.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A good deal of sun won't prevent a colder day for today with a gusty wind and a high of 32, leading to a generally clear night tonight with a low dropping down to 20. Tomorrow does bring back more and more clouds through the day with a high of 39, leading into a cloudy Tuesday with drizzle at times and a high of 46. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, last show of the year with Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service. So if you have any tree-related questions, you better get in right now while we have time. Just a couple of more segments left in today's broadcast. The number is 866-391-1020. All of our lines are open, so we'll get you on the air ASAP. We're talking about winter pricing, deep discounts, time of year. They want to generate those phones because they have time to do it now. So if you need to get work done and you want to save a whole lot of money, now is the time to reach out to them. 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. So, Carlos, let's talk about some of the things that you can actually do now. But before anything else, explain to me and the audience, can you work safely in snowy and icy conditions with this crew? Go ahead.
Yeah, usually as long as the roads are good and we could get our trucks out safely, because our trucks are big, they kind of don't do well on snow and ice-covered roadways. So, the temperature, it's just something we deal with, and as long as we can get to your property, usually we can perform the work. Although Friday, those high winds, we went out, and I just sent you a couple pictures. We were pruning an oak tree up in Green Tree, and it was just too windy to have our tracked aerial lift boomed up in the air, and so we lived to fight another day. We racked it up, and got the crew back there yesterday. I went out with a couple guys and we finished the job. So we're a safety first company, and if we're out there, that means that we're confident that we can, get the job done. And if the weather gets too bad while we're performing the work, then, we let the customer know and they understand. They got a lift in their yard up 100 feet in the air with a guy in the basket, and they understand, it's windy out there, and sure, we'll see you tomorrow, no big deal. So another thing, like working this time of year, sometimes the ground's frozen on your property where we can get back there with some equipment, where normally, like in the spring and the rainy season, maybe it's too soft and it limits us with what we can get back in a backyard. And it all becomes a matter of pricing too. If the ground's frozen and we can get back there with our lift instead of climbing it, we can give you a better price. And so there's so many dynamics this time of year that we navigate through, and we try to pass the savings on to the customer. We know everybody's a little strapped for money this time of year, so we want our phones to keep ringing. We want to keep the economy going. We want to keep our workers working out there. So if you have tree work, and the other good thing is we're not backed up right now. Sometimes we do get 4 to 6 weeks out with new scheduling. So right now we're a week or two out. It's a good time to get a good price, get it done. The ground's frozen. We're not going to leave a big imprint on your property as we might in the spring or in the summer when it's wet out. So just give us a call and see what we can do for you.
All right. So the thing we've been talking about a lot, especially oak trees, dormant pruning, safe and effective this time of year, and really kind of from Thanksgiving to St. Patrick's Day. But if somebody's listening right now and they need this done and they're thinking, well, I'll get to it in January, I'll make the call February. What happens once the weather starts to warm up even slightly, and then that big home and garden show pops up at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center, you guys get backed up and booked. And then what happens, the next thing you know, it's the luck of the Irish, and St. Patrick's Day is come and gone, and it's too late to get that pruning done. So you at least want to get on the books right now, right?
Yeah, that's a great point. It's just a great time of year to call us and get it taken care of. You might have, been preparing for the holidays, and you're busy with Thanksgiving, and now Christmas is coming up, and you're busy with that, and you weren't thinking about it. But, after New Year's is done and all that kind of dies down and you get back to business out there, and it's a good time to call us. We're still in the oak prune season. We're not too far backed up. We can get equipment in your backyard if that's where the tree's at. So it's just beneficial to everybody to kind of address it now and during the oak prune season, and when we can give you a better price. So it just give us a call and we could get out there and assess it and see maybe the oak tree's good and maybe it doesn't need anything till next season, or you got a couple years left before you have to address it. We'll let you know that too. We're going to come out and do our best to serve you.
All right, so 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. And if you have a tree-related question, I know a lot of you are thinking about the holidays right now, but if any of you have a tree-related question, 866-391-1020. Tell them again about Troy and how they can get on the books with your plant healthcare, tree healthcare, and really get things checked out on a regular basis, summer, winter, spring, and fall, so they know they're going to be good throughout the calendar year for a minimal price. Talk about that, Carlos.
Yes, Troy spearheads our plant healthcare division. This was our second full year of it, and it's something that I always, thought that I would get into, but I didn't have the background in it. I didn't go to college for it. I'm not a ISA certified arborist. I learned what I know in the streets and doing it, being out there performing the work and taking classes on the side and seminars and things like that. But Troy, he's a rock star. There's nothing he won't know about something on your property, and he's going to educate you. He's going to let you know the maintenance involved on any plants, shrubs, or trees on your property, the cost associated with it, the benefits of it, the applications that we can provide you, the services that we have. And, you can sign up for a yearly membership with us or contract, and there's certain things, during different times of the year that we can address on your property. Certain times of year we can or cannot perform some of the applications. So he'll go over all that with you. When you call Troy, we haven't ever had a bad, phone call about him. He's just amazing. He's super intelligent. He's passionate like me. We kind of complement each other really well. And sometimes both of us come out there and he's, talking about the planned health care, and I'm honing in on the pricing and making sure we can get you a really good deal. It's just a great experience and having him on board, and it translates into what people, call and say about Troy. They love him. They wish they would have called us sooner. Now they know this. Now they know that. And it just keeps everything on your property healthy and keeps your home safe.
He reminds me a lot of my middle child. They really look like they were separated at birth. Same long hair, same physical characteristics, very tall, but a lot of brain cells. When I talk to him, it's hard to believe he's in his mid-20s. He is really a whole lot older than his years. I mean, this guy's really plugged in, and I've never met anybody so passionate about what they do, and he loves what he does, Carlos.
Yeah, I love going out on calls with him and listening to him, and I learn something new from him every time I go out there in the field with him and we're talking to a customer, and it's just awesome seeing him in action, and and I do say he's like a rock star, and actually he is. He's in a band, so he does do it all. I mean, he's living the life. He's in an industry that he's passionate about. It's great to have around, and I'm so glad that we got him on board, and it's just exciting. I can't wait for next year.
All right, absolutely. You have such respect for him as well, too. Listen, we're going to do something a little different before the break, and we were just talking off the air. My friend, the late, great Joe Dentisi, who really was like a father to me, used to always say, nobody will ever love you like your mom, and somebody just posted something on my social media, a tribute I did for my mom's best friend who passed away not too long ago. They were childhood friends. She lived into her 90s. Sadly, my mother has been gone 20 years this holiday season, and she was the love of my life. And I'm always interested in that backstory. And I was talking to you about your mom during the break. Your mom, in the short time that you told me about her, she may have had one of the most fascinating lives that I have ever heard about. Please tell the audience about your mom and growing up in that house that she still lives in Greenfield. Go ahead. It's the holidays.
Yeah, so it was just great. She was, self-taught. She taught herself 5 or 6 different languages. She was a freelance journalist. She used to write a lot for the Pittsburgh Catholic. She would also translate articles from Italian, French, or Spanish into English or vice versa. And she picked up, she became like almost a world-renowned expert on fetal experimentation. She wrote a couple books on it. She would go around and do speaking engagements about it. And, she actually taught me she was the one that put the entrepreneurial spirit in me. I remember, I think we were in first grade, and she was, a single mom most of her life with 3 kids, and so she's always figuring out how to make some money. We used to bake croissants and drive them over to CMU to the cafeteria and sell them to the cafeteria over there. So I remember baking the croissants. I was in first grade or kindergarten, and would pack them up in a little VW bug and drive them down to CMU and sell them to the cafeteria down there. I think we sold them for like $0.25 a piece or something.
Wow.
So from an early age, she just instilled in me, hey, if this is what you need to do, go out and do it. And that's just benefited me, since I'm a small business owner, and it's not an easy racket, and it's just work. And she put that work ethic in me, and I can't thank her enough. She's a great woman. And she's a great cook. My nickname growing up was the cannoli kid because she was famous for her cannolis, and people still ask me about them,
Oh, jeez.
I mean, I'm lucky. Like, if I butter her up enough and maybe run on down the strip and get the ingredients, she'll make the cannolis this time of year for me, which is a treat, believe me.
Listen, once, we get into the new year, you got to take me to meet her. I mean, goodness gracious, the cannoli kid. That's absolutely the best. But, think about what she did on her own, self-taught, 5 different languages, writing for, hey, listen, I never left Mass without a copy of it. When I was an usher, I loved handing it out for 10 years. That Pittsburgh Catholic's good stuff, but you got to have something going on between your ears to be able to do that. So she has an amazing resume when you think about her life, plus being a mom and a wife and, just all the things that she's done. Incredible.
Yeah, she actually had her own little newspaper. She was kind of like a hippie activist, and she had a paper called the Steel City Times, and she had like a little office up in Squirrel Hill on Murray Avenue above the Squirrel Hill Cafe. And then we had like this big typesetting machine in our basement, and I remember we would I would help her with it. I would roll out these big pages, and I had one of those little X-Acto knives, and I would cut out stencils and borders, and would have this hot wax roller, and would put the border around the articles, and would run it through this big typesetting machine, and it would come out in newspaper form. And so it was just the memories of that. And again, the entrepreneurial spirit. She was producing a newspaper in the basement of our home in Greenfield, and out there selling it. She probably didn't even sell it. She probably gave it away. She wasn't a big capitalist. She was. Well,
listen, to put it in, I guess, the vernacular that we can use on this show, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. You're your mother's son. There's no doubt about it. That made my day. And to Mom, if you're out there listening, much love and congratulations on doing a great job with your son, but also what an incredible life, well lived for sure. All right, we'll come back. A couple more moments with Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Don't put this stuff off, especially if you need to get some of that pruning done to those oak trees. Call them. Let them get out and take care of it before St. Patrick's Day comes and goes, and it'll be too late. And they get extremely busy once the new year starts to warm up a little bit. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Hi, this is Sarah Botkin, president of Botkin Family Wealth Management. During this most wonderful time of the year, I give thanks for the way my parents have always welcomed everyone to their holiday celebrations. Back in college, I'd ask if I could bring a friend home for break, and the answer was always yes. Today, when we go over for a holiday meal, they tell us, bring the dogs, they're always welcome. And when we arrive, Mom has our favorite hors d'oeuvre on the island and water bowls on the floor. My husband Ovi is from Romania, and when his family or friends are in town, Mom has place cards set and a gift for every guest on Christmas. When my parents welcome my in-laws, my friends, and my pets, they make me feel totally loved and lucky. When Dad, Lester, and I opened our financial planning firm, we set about creating a warm atmosphere that makes you feel welcome. A place where you're greeted by name by people who know what you want to accomplish and help you get there. Learn more at botkinfamilywealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up, you get early payout on parlays too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. TNC Supply.
You want to be the big hero this holiday season? Give a gift they'll never forget. Instead of just more stuff, give them an incredible experience. Imagine their faces when they learn they're spending a week lounging in a private lazy river in the Outer Banks, splashing in the indoor pool of a massive Deep Creek lake home, or waking up to the waves from an oceanfront condo in Myrtle Beach. The best gifts are memories. Visit SWACvacations.com today to book your dream summer 2026 getaway. SWAC, S-W-A-C-K, vacations.com.
Got any gadgets? Get online protection. NordVPN has a ho-ho holiday deal just for you. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you avoid malware, phishing, and annoying trackers. Just a few taps and you're safer online. Let your gadgets sparkle with online security. Go to NordVPN.com and get up to 77% off plus 3 extra months. NordVPN.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, one more segment with Carlos. So if you have anything on your mind in the way of trees, you need to call us before the hour is up. We understand that a lot of folks are busy getting ready for the holidays, but there's still time here in this final segment. 866-391-1020. You want to wish a very special birthday to a special individual who is serving our country. Go ahead, Carlos.
Yes, my firstborn, the one that made me a father, Sal. It's his 27th birthday today, and I just want to let him know that I'm thinking about him and very proud of him. He's over in Germany with his unit. He's a captain in the U.S. Army. I mean, he was kind of the opposite of me. He was just real focused and straight-lined on what he wanted to do in life, and just couldn't be prouder of him, and it's 27 today, and just want to wish him a happy birthday and tell him I love him.
Absolutely, and thank you for serving your country. All right, now, before we wrap up this hour, everybody asks, well, tell me about them a little bit, and how far will they travel? I have people, West Virginia, Ohio, when I'm traveling, say, I heard the tree guy, this, that. How far do you really travel with Great? You're really known for the city and neighborhoods because you navigate the streets, you grew up here, you know how to really, what it takes to get some of these close quarter jobs done, but how far does your company travel?
We like to stay within maybe 45, 50 miles of downtown Pittsburgh in any direction. So let's just say an hour from Pittsburgh, and we have, dipped into West Virginia and parts of Ohio. We primarily serve Allegheny County and the tips of the surrounding counties. So in this time of year, sometimes we'll go a little farther because we're looking for some work right now. So it just depends on the size of the job and what time of year, but all in all, let's say an hour from Pittsburgh.
All right. Now we're getting all these calls here in the last couple of minutes of the program, so I don't know if we're going to be able to get to you, but we'll do our best. As soon as we get them in the queue, we'll see if we can get a couple of folks on the air here before the top of the hour. So talk about being licensed, insured, and why that's so important, and obviously you are, but this is something people need to know and they need to ask. Go ahead.
Yeah, the main thing you want to look for when hiring any contractor who's going to be on your property is make sure they have the proper workers' comp insurance. Anybody got hurt or killed on your property and the company or that, pickup truck and chainsaw guy that's running around doesn't have workers' comp and they get hurt or killed, they're going to want, paid for their medical bills, or their family's going to come after you for wrongful death. And it's your due diligence to know these things. And it's a good idea to have a pipeline with your homeowner's insurance and forward any insurance you get from a contractor. And they'll look it over and say, yeah, he's properly insured. He has workers' comp. He has a liability if there's any damage. And it's a good company. Go ahead and hire him, because they want to make sure that they're not paying anybody's medical bills that gets hurt on your property. So that's the main thing.
All right, before I let you go, let's talk about the crew, not just your biological family, your lovely wife. Obviously, we mentioned your one son and Cello, the other, but your mom we talked about, but that other family, just like mine here at the radio station, that extended family, you couldn't do it without them, right?
No, I have guys that all been with me for years. We just took a trip up to Seven Springs. I take them on a company trip. Actually, we're going to go back next week, too, because we had so much fun. But take them up Seven Springs and pay for the snowboarding, and we cook big dinners in the big condo or townhouse that we rent up there. And it's just, I'm out there working with them. So like, in a way, I'm one of the workers too, and they appreciate that. They like seeing the owner of the company out there working out there and bringing them a good lunch from the little deli in your neighborhood that we're working in. And I appreciate it, because that's how I started out. I mean, I built this company going out and doing it on my own and working 7 days a week. And so I appreciate it all. And I love the guys that I have. They're just a great crew.
Well, listen, you're a great guy. guy, and it's really been an honor to get to know you this year. And hopefully we'll head to Greenfield to that little duplex and break some bread, or at least talk to your mom, because she seems like one amazing woman, as you are. Keep up the great work, and we're really honored to have you a part of our family here at KDKA.
Thanks, Rob. I appreciate you having me, and Merry Christmas.
There he goes. Carlos, listen, this guy, when I first met him, he was like a house of fire. And I follow him on social media, and these pictures he sends me. So if I ever complain about going out early to scrape the snow off my windshield, I want you to just simply say to me, Greater Pitt Tree Service, okay? Or when I say I have to go out and shovel the sidewalk, I want you to say Greater Pitt Tree Service. They're amazing. All right, listen, Rob's coming up next with the news at 10, Accurate Solutions, and then we've got 2 hours of the best hometown sports talk anywhere. Lots to get to. Steelers getting ready to take on the Lions later today. College football playoffs. Pirates pick up a pretty good player in this Brandon Lau, who hit 31 homers last year. So lots to come today right here. Your Pratt Pack on KDKA. Good morning.
The proceeding was paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard in the preceding program.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Vaping and smoking can affect more than just your health. The materials in cigarettes and vapes turn into toxic waste that ends up in our waterways, soil, and harms wildlife. This is real. Protect your future in more ways than one. Tobacco-free Adagio Health and the PA Quit line offer judgment-free support at no cost to help you quit smoking or vaping for good. Visit adagiohealth.org/tobacco-free or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
No gift? No problem. With Target's last-minute gifts, the holidays are a breeze. You can score on the hottest toys, beauty must-haves, chocolatey stocking stuffers, and much more. And if you need it now, no worries. Swing by any Target store today and snag all the stocking stuffers and gifts for the most magical season yet. Step into the holidays, check off everything on your list, and save big on your last-minute gifts. Only at Target. Restrictions apply.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Have a house you're ready to sell? Ryan Shalaba here with the Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, and I want to make your next home sale the easiest one yet. Over a decade in business and 175 plus 5-star reviews, we've helped people in all different situations get the most money out of their house when they need it. We'll save you time, money, and stress, and we'll even help you move. Call 412-500-9057. We'll get you a cash offer in as little as 24 hours. That's 412-500-9057 or visit homebuyersofpittsburgh.com today.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 34 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 10 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Police in Armstrong County asking for your help in finding a missing man this morning. Manor Township Police Department says 31-year-old Corey Cook was last seen Thursday morning around 8 o'clock. He was wearing a burgundy hooded sweatshirt and blue jeans. He's reportedly suffering from paranoid delusions and hallucinations. His rental car was found abandoned near the Rails to Trails in the Graff Bridge. He's 6'3", 170 to 190 pounds. Anyone with information on Cook's whereabouts is asked to call police. A man is facing charges after police said an 11-year-old boy ingested drugs at the man's home. 32-year-old Iodoni Cole is charged with aggravated assault, possession with intent to deliver, endangering the welfare of children, and receiving stolen property. Cole's 11-year-old son was found to have ingested narcotics after he was taken to the hospital on Thursday. Police checked Cole's Duquesne home on Wool Avenue and found a large amount of drugs, including cocaine and heroin,
along with 3 handguns, one of which was previously reported as stolen. Well, about an hour away from Pittsburgh City Council meeting this morning to vote on the 2026 city budget. More specifically, they'll vote on whether or not to increase taxes for 2026. Council members say there's about a $20 million hole in the budget. And one council member, Barb Warwick, has called to increase the city's property tax rate by 30% to help close the gap. But dozens of residents told council on a Saturday meeting they're against the tax increase. Well, following today's vote, Mayor Ed Gainey will have 10 days to either sign or veto the budget. Well, if you feel like the Grinch is stealing your Christmas, your tree could be to blame. Here's CBS's Deborah Rodriguez.
Rocking around the Christmas tree. Wasn't that fun? Putting up your tree, turning on the twinkle lights, and hanging your favorite ornaments. Now comes the party crasher. Allergies. It doesn't matter if it's fake or real. Bringing a Christmas tree into your home can bring with it pollen, dust, and insect droppings. One study finds 7% of allergy patients can link respiratory or skin symptoms back to Christmas trees. If you can't live without one, experts recommend stocking up on allergy